Two.
Hello, everybody. It is hot outside, boy. July 26th. Here we are off the rails. We are running Danless today. In Dan's seat is the Star Killer. What does that mean, Star Killer?
It's just some nerdy name I made when I first made my YouTube channel because I didn't want to show my identity because I was still trying to go to med school.
So is it that you're killing stars like famous people? You're an exposing expert?
No, I just wanted something that sounded nerdy, Star Wars like.
Oh, hold on, AB, one sec.
Yo.
Dad is the queen. You can't do nothing wrong, Daddy.
Good morning, my queens of TikTok above 18.
An important announcement. Buckingham Palace has announced...
Dad is the queen.
That's awesome. Dan is the queen. Too bad he's not here today. Wow. I love that.
Was amazing.
Buckingham Palace announces. That's really good. That was really good. Well, Dan, if you are watching, which you probably are, you are the queen. Cheers. Yeah, so we're running Danless today. Today's episode is sponsored by ExpressVPN and PayPal Honey, who we love, love, love. Thank you to our wonderful sponsors. Today we're getting a call-in from Alexa Nikolas. Now, this person is very interesting. We've been following her on Twitter for a while before we had the opportunity to kind of connect with her, but has had a lot to say about her time as a young actress in Hollywood. She worked for Nickelodeon, and she worked on a Dan Schneider show, Zoey 101.
Yep.
And she has apparently had a problem with Danny Boy. She's had issues with Seth MacFarlane, or at least she knows stuff. I don't know. I'm not going to put words in her mouth. I'll let her talk about it. But she most recently came out with an experience about Jonah Hill that made a lot of headlines. And she has an organization called Eat Predators, which sounds pretty interesting. So I'm very much looking forward to talking to her at 2. And she's very interesting. What can I say? You know?
Cheers, my dude.
Buckingham Palace is pleased to announce that I, Ethan Klein, probably have lupus. I might be jumping the gun.
Wrong button.
What?
I pressed the wrong button and I silenced you. I did not.
Bro, I wish.
I meant to press this button, which does breaking news overlay.
I wish I could silence
said, "Shut the
myself.
fuck up."
They're right next to each other there.
Big news. Ethan has lupus. Now, I don't have an
very
official
much
diagnosis. I'll be honest. I don't know that. But I think I'd probably do. If there's anything wrong with me, I have lupus. I'm team lupus.
Hopefully not.
Also died.
And I've also died. A Selena gang. Yeah, exactly. Did we thank sponsors? Yes. The thing about... Yeah, so I talked to my hematologist Tuesday. And obviously I've got some issues going on in the blood work. The Anna titer is like a strong, strong positive. To anyone who knows what that is, I think we said it's 1 to 320, which is like a big boy positive. Homogeneous and speckled.
300
And 20,000. Or no, 320.
DPI.
And so my hematologist like, you need to see a rheumatologist now. I'm going to do some blood work on next week to see how I don't think it's cancer, guys, so that's pretty, I think that's good, you know?
Yeah,
Definitely team lupus over team cancer.
Right. Team, hopefully nothing.
Right, that's a good team to be on.
Yeah. I'm loving that team.
But the truth is that I'm pretty sure there's something going on here. So I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, the good thing is that we caught it by pure chance, right? By just taking a standard checkup and noticed there was something weird going on in the blood. What's interesting, so I talked to my general doctor, and he noticed my platelets and white blood cells were elevated. And he's like, it's probably nothing. Some people just have higher values. We can just we can just observe it, to keep a look on it. And he says, but if you want, I can refer you to a hematologist. So I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then I got home and I started reading, and I got on WebMD, diagnosed myself with 10 different cancers. And then I said, let's talk to the hematologist. So I went to the hematologist, hoping it would be like, you're fine. No, more problems. Anna titer through the fucking roof. Nothing's tighter than my ass and my Anna titer rating. I got that anal titer? No. Anal titer? No. That's disgusting. I mean, not for some people, but it's vulgar is what I mean. Not to be like, I'm gonna eat your ass. Yeah. Got 1, 2, 3, 20 is not that high. What do you, stop. That is high. Everybody says it's high. It's a strong positive. 1 to 320, dude. Stop it right now. And I had a long conversation. I had a long conversation with ChatGPT about my health.
Oh shit.
And ChatGPT says of all the possible solutions, most likely would be lupus.
Was he sensitive about it?
He was they.
Oh my God.
Don't
I'm so
misgender the
sorry.
robot, man.
Obviously.
They're slaves already, man. The least you could do is not misgender them.
Give them an identity at least.
The only thing tighter than my Anna is AB's tight, fuckable little throat.
True.
I saw that in the comments. But nothing's tighter than my Anna. The other reason that we suspect lupus is just because I keep getting these weird face rashes. Now with lupus, you get like these big butterfly rashes. It's very confusing. I don't get any rashes here, but I got a new rash now here, right here on both sides of my nose. And I've been getting them here at the corner of my eyes. I have some it's not generic, I have some steroid creams that I got for my previous shit on my face. So I just been putting that there until I can talk to the derm.
Oh, I'm being told that's his actual face. I'm so sorry, Ethan.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Now I'm sensitive about all these rashes on my face. How do you feel now? Idiot, loser, piece of crap.
Idiot.
So I don't know. We'll see. But if I did have lupus in a sense, because one of the main symptoms that people feel is like overwhelming fatigue. Mm-hmm. Strong, present fatigue. And looking back, I don't know if that maybe... Oh, great. My mom's fucking chiming in now. She says Gary's sister has lupus. Great.
These nuts.
There you fucking go. I didn't know my aunt. This is my dad's estranged father, so I don't know anything about these people. So now, thanks, Dad. I thought Mom gave me the fucked up genes. But your dumbass dad...
Lifetime. Gary.
Fucked me with this. Lupus is not hereditary. However, genetic factors play an important role in developing lupus. And certain inheritable genes may increase. Well, then how does that mean it's not hereditary? It says lupus is not hereditary, but if you have certain genes, you're at a higher risk. Isn't that what hereditary is?
That button.
ChatGPT?
Let's see.
Gary.
So, from what I read, I think that if you have a close family member with any kind of autoimmune disease, it increases your risk. And my mom has autoimmune, and now apparently my ghost aunt has lupus. I didn't know that. I didn't even know her. Why should I get lupus from her? I didn't even fucking know her.
She's a ghost.
She's a fucking ghost. How'd she give me lupus?
Ghost.
Dumbass.
Yeah, ChatGPT is pretty much saying the same thing. It does have a portion of it that is a genetic factor, but it's not all of it.
Yeah, okay. So it's partially hereditary. Mm. Okay. So, what I was saying is, like, I have been feeling this, like, overwhelming fatigue. I don't know if I call it overwhelming, but definitely standard fatigue for the past few years. And I just assumed it was because I gained so much weight. And that just made sense to me. But now that I'm losing weight, I haven't really felt better. But I've always said it's because I'm not getting enough calories because I'm on like this crazy calorie deficit. Also, I'm not getting enough sleep because we have 2 young kids. You know, so I don't know. We'll see, though. We're going to figure it out. But Lupus gang checking in.
Gang, gang.
It took me a year to determine I had celiac, not lupus. Interesting. But celiac's easy. You just stop eating wheat, right? My mom is celiac, too. I mean, my mom is basically the A through Z of all fucking disorders. It's a miracle that she's even walking and breathing right now. You could learn the alphabet on all my mom's problems.
Dubrick?
A is for...
autoimmune disease.
A is for autoimmune disease. It's good enough for me. B is for...
Blood work.
Bronchitis.
Dubrick?
bronchitis, which I occasionally get. C is for...
Chronic fatigue.
chronic fatigue, which I always feel in my bones. D is for death, which we're hoping to avoid.
D's nuts.
D is for D's nuts.
Oh, yeah. Got him.
Are you, so anyway, listen, that's what it is. I don't know what to say, you know? But so far, if I do have lupus, it's not been like a super severe situation. So maybe if I do have it, it's not like a really severe one. There it is.
Well, I hope you're okay. I mean, hearing you yesterday on See You Next Tuesday was kind of sad, talking about the kids and whatnot. Hopefully everything...
Well, yeah, I'm afraid of dying, obviously, because now I have kids that I really want to raise and be a part of their life.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest fear, obviously. But my fear that this is something that's going to kill me in the next 10 years. Well, lupus, I think most people with lupus can live a fairly normal life expectancy, which is good. I'll suffer the whole way. I don't care. I just want to be there for the boys. I don't think I'll...
I'm sure you're fine. But
why? You're not sure of that.
I'm sure. I know it.
What do you mean you're sure? I don't like when people say that.
I'm sure.
Why are you sure? What gives you the right to tell me that?
I'm a dreamer, baby.
Optimism.
Do you know what I mean? You go, man, this is something really bad I'm afraid of happening. I'm sure you're fine. It's like, you're not sure. How do you know? Thank you, AB, though. I didn't mean to just nail down on you.
Yeah.
It's a pet peeve.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, but, you know, of all the things it could have been, I'll take lupus, I guess. You know what I mean? Take us a little loopy.
But it's not certain it is lupus, right?
No. I give it maybe a 50% chance lupus.
Is that your chance, or is that what the doctor's saying?
No, the doctor would never give you a percentage like that. I would say that was potentially after some coaxing of ChatGPT. I forced it to give me.
Okay, bro, time it. You gotta stop with that.
So it's possible. How likely is the possibility that it's nothing?
There's a chance, but it's very. It doesn't make sense that it's nothing.
It's slim.
Because
5%.
Yeah, ChatGPT says 5.
ChatGPT says 5.
No, ChatGPT says there's a chance.
It's at 5%.
I have to check in with my friend.
There is a chance that it's nothing, but like with the white blood cells, the platelets, the antititer.
Dude, just please stop talking to ChatGPT.
Why? ChatGPT is fucking pro.
Because I feel like in this time, like you need positivity and
no, it doesn't bring me down. I need to know. ChatGPT is a great resource. Okay, you need to talk to ChatGPT more.
Quite frankly, I think you guys would get along.
He's a good guy. He doesn't judge.
Yeah.
You're like, ChatGPT, I ate a kid. What should I do? I ate a human child. What should I do? Okay, well, generally that's not advised, but here's what we're going to do about it. He's like the wolf, man. He doesn't ask questions. Just fixes it for you.
You sending the wolf?
Oh, wow. Interesting, Zach. Now my mom is saying she's mad at you for not telling her about this. Yeah, I know, Mom. I didn't tell you about it. I guess I should have expected you hear the show. is because you would be so annoying about it. You know you would be.
Oh.
You would. It's just like. Well, now it's gonna happen. She's gonna. It's the constant like. I can diagnose myself. I don't like when other people do it. My mom would be constantly diagnosing me. And she's not like hopeful either. She's always like, well, I think you have like ALS. She goes, I think
Jesus.
I think you have like early onset Alzheimer's. Just like the worst shit she'll put out there. Thanks, Mom. But I don't really have anything to tell you yet, Mom, because it's all just
Fuck, baby, no.
it's all just conjecture at this moment. I didn't want to tell you until I knew for sure. You know what I mean, Mom? You want to call in? You can call in. Do you know how to do that, AB?
Yeah.
And wait for the wolf, who should be coming directly.
What the hell, Zach? My blood work came back same as yours. 30% people have abnormal anti-titers and do not have lupus. Rely on your symptoms more. So my symptoms is part of the confusing part. I don't really have any of the. Okay, this is interesting. This is from you, Cam. I ate a human child. Would you say that's bad? Yes, that's absolutely unacceptable and illegal. Cannibalism and harm to individuals, especially children, is universally considered severe crime and deeply unethical. Well, ask him. Well, what should I do?
Sure, I'll ask him. That was Love.
That was you, Love. Ask what should I do about it?
Yeah, I'll ask him.
What do you want me to do about it? You know, tasted good. What can I tell you?
What do we do about it?
Anyway, there's enough about that. You know what I mean? We're that's just what's been going on. Oh, my mom calling in? Oh, Dan sent the link.
I sent it just in case.
Right, I'm gonna have my mom yell at me on air. You guys can get a taste for what's in store for me. In the meantime, Bees from Space, the author of the beloved Fly Me to the Moon. What is it, Ethan in Space? Yeah. The winner of the green screen competition has put out another masterpiece. This, my friends, is Toxic Gossip Train, sang by Simon and Garfunkel, a.k.a. And I'm glad that B made me Simon, because Simon is way more talented, and Garfunkel is just like a weirdo loser who doesn't...
Whoa.
What does Garfunkel do exactly?
Art Garfunkel, his high register's voice of an angel.
Sure, he's got a good voice, but who's the talent? Go ahead.
I think. I would normally agree with you, but I gotta give love to some Artie Garfunkel here.
Look,
dude.
Paul Simon went on his own, and he became a musical legend.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Hi, Mom. Okay, she's...
Her audio's connecting.
Having some issues there.
Okay,
Right.
she's connected now.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, babe. Why didn't you say something to us?
Oh, well, it's just, I don't know for sure, you know what I mean? It's just something I've been thinking about. I don't know. I don't know what it is. If I knew for sure, I would have told you guys.
Well, you do get tired.
There it is, you see?
Well, it could be a number of things. Maybe you're just anemic.
I don't think so, because anemic means you're low on iron, right? Or does it mean something else?
Well, it could be you're low on B12. It could be you're low on iron.
Because I don't think anemia showed up in the blood, all the blood work I did. But you know about Anna Titer, Mom?
I don't really know much about it. I know that Dad's sister Cheryl had lupus.
See, that's not fair. I didn't even know who she is. Why should I have to deal with that?
Well,
I thought your family was one with all the fucked up conditions.
Not really.
But now I got from both sides. I mean, how's that fair? I got Tourette's from your dumb family. And now I got lupus from Dad's dumb family that I didn't even ever meet. I don't even know who they are. So what am I supposed to be? Like
other things from
I'm like the
family.
Captain Planet of fucking bodily dysfunction.
Yeah, but you got handsome from our family, and you got good personality from our family.
You know what? Keep that and take the lupus with it.
Well, hopefully everything will be fine. Why did you go into the doctor? Was there something that you were bothered by, or was that just because you and Ela are trying to get pregnant?
No, it was just I was just doing my yearly checkup because I switched to a new healthcare provider, and I was like, I want to do a full workup because I'm getting old. I want to make sure I'm healthy for the boys. And
That's smart.
And then we caught it just by chance that my white blood cells and my platelets were elevated. And then from there, I went and saw a hematologist, and then they found a few other new things that were elevated. And so from that, now I'm going to go see a rheumatologist.
Well, I have, autoimmune disorder. I don't know what they do about it. Did he say anything to you? Well, I guess until you see a rheumatologist, you won't know.
About what?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've got arthritis, and I've got, I've got no thyroid, and I
told you, I don't know how you walk around. Everything, celiac, no thyroid. I didn't even know you had arthritis, colitis.
But, I'm in good shape, though. I'm really in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I agree. You seem healthy. I'm not saying that, my life is over or anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been doing great with your losing weight. You look fantastic.
Thank you. And so I know I'm going to do an ultrasound next week on my internal organs to make sure I don't have cancer.
This isn't Kaiser anymore, right?
No. Fuck Kaiser, bro. I'd be dead if I was with Kaiser still.
Yeah, I.
No offense. I think you guys are all on Kaiser, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good things about Kaiser.
I think
I don't know.
I liked Kaiser before I left.
It's the first time I've had health insurance.
I was with Kaiser my whole life here in the United States. What, AB?
It's the first time I've had health insurance in my adult life, so I'm loving it. I have no complaints.
Honestly, Kaiser's pretty good. I'm being facetious. It's more bureaucratic. I think, maybe not, though, because they have these huge facilities. Maybe they just send you down the hall to get you checked this and that. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? The doctors, everything's on the computer. And so they really know what each other are doing with the one patient. So that's kind of nice. Instead of having the doctor have to read your whole history, they just get on the computer and boom, it's right there.
Yeah, I think I think that crosses organization. They had all my notes from my old doctors too. That's just powerful internet stuff. Tubes passing information.
No.
All right, Mom. When I find out for sure, I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated, okay?
Please do. And you know what? It's crazy. You don't let us know, but all of your fans know.
Yes. That's true. It is weird. But like I said, I didn't want to trouble you with it until I knew for sure.
I'm your mother.
And on the show, I talk about everything, better or worse.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But with Mom, I'm going to keep it a little tighter. But you found out anyway, a little Anna tighter, if you will. All right, Mom, listen, I got to roll.
All right.
What's the temperature over there?
Sunday. All right. Bye, sweetheart.
Okay. All right. Don't need to talk about the weather, I guess. Oh, wait. Keep it up. Keep it open. Keep it open. This is my favorite part.
What?
Oh, I thought you were trying to hang up. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I love that.
How do you hang up?
That is so me.
Oh, Ethan.
Oh, she got it? Or is that you, Ian? Oh, okay. She got it. That is, of course, Donna Klein, my mom. Typing sounds.
Butterfly.
Oh, that's a butterfly wing?
Yeah, they're butterfly flaps.
What?
Yeah.
Play it again? Hell no, that's not a butterfly. That's like a bird. And which I think you wouldn't like that sound.
No. I just tell myself it's a butterfly.
Okay, got it. So anyway, you guys are going to love this. Beats from Space made a duet between me and Hassan. Toxic Gossip Train. It's fantastic.
It's been a while since I saw my face. I haven't been doing so great, so I took a little break.
So a lot of people are saying some things about me that aren't quite true. Doesn't matter if it's true though.
Just as long as it's entertaining to you. Right? You guys having fun?
Mm-hmm.
All aboard the Toxic Gossip Train.
I can't help but move when I hear it.
Down the track, so for this information,
the Toxic Gossip Train. You got one-way ticket to Articulation Station.
Toxic Gossip Train.
Wow, Ethan, you have a beautiful tone.
This is a straight up Broadway gangbuster blockbuster hit.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
For sure.
I was saying it's ironic because Colleen, she wants to be Broadway so bad.
Yeah.
And this is probably her most Broadway work.
All aboard.
I think her Broadway work is her most Broadway work.
Right, that's fair.
Right.
That's probably
That is
true.
fair.
But like
this is her second most, I would say.
Okay. But her life would make a really good tragedy for the theater.
Lin-Manuel could play her.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
And then the climax is here. Dude, come on.
facts if you don't mind. The gaps don't survive in the crash,
But hey.
Recognition reversal.
at least you're
At least you're having fun.
Piker and Klein.
I've been sharing my life online for over 15 years.
I poured my heart out to you, and because of that I feel like I'm talking to my friends. But in the beginning
This is
of my
amazing.
career, I didn't really understand that maybe there should be some boundaries there. There were times in the DMs when I would overshare details of my life. Just
This is on my playlist.
I haven't done that for years, you see, because I changed my behavior and I took accountability.
Yeah, I don't know how much to listen to this. It is 4 minutes long.
Toxic Gossip Train. The motives filled with hateful accusations. Toxic Gossip Train.
Yes.
Seem all over someone's reputation.
Toxic Gossip Train. Hop on board, but close your eyes, otherwise you'll realize
Dude.
the train is made of lies, and that person you despise maybe didn't
Look.
deserve to die, but hey.
At the end of the day, Colleen needs to be happy at least that this really turned into the summer hit.
Fuck me, right?
Yes. No. I mean, I don't know.
Can we get a live performance of it on Leftovers?
Ooh, that'd be sick.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. We could try that.
I would die for that.
I don't know. We'll have to print the lyrics.
Rumors that you made up for clout.
Done.
Everybody I thought so I knew it's in the rest. She did some things that I do not like in her past. So everybody gather round, cause we're about to attack.
But not based on facts.
No.
You wrote it with the line, Dennis, your fingers on the keys.
Best part.
You don't need any
Dude, I
armor.
sound so good when I'm like,
I know.
Quick and fail. Our reputation's deceived.
no. Then here, you're on stage. The lights go off. One spot beam shines on Colleen.
I see
Darkness everywhere.
Dragging down the chat.
Single spot.
One spotlight.
Toxic Gossip Train.
She's walking down the
maybe
street.
An ensemble of people, they make an image of a train, they go across the floor behind in
Right.
shadows.
She's walking. She's going through
I
like
see it.
a subway station. The train.
They pick her up. They
Oh,
put
yeah.
her above them. She's on the Toxic Gossip
They're getting
train.
on the train.
Yes.
And
then they
as
leave
she
with
wraps
her.
it up, the train leaves with her on it.
Absolutely.
My
Fuck
dream,
her,
my
right?
dream from this show just got one step closer.
What, the H3 musical?
Karaoke with the clients.
Oh.
party.
We should do an H3 musical. We should hire like a Broadway superstar, like producer, musician, and just put on. And our next live show should just be a fucking H3 musical.
Ethan, don't you dare say this and not.
I mean, I would actually.
I would
that would
die.
be so fun, but it would be so much work.
I'm always game.
It would
Like-
take about a year.
I would love it.
There's no way that we could actually memorize all of our lines. Is it okay if we just walk out with like a paper?
No.
But
On
Ethan-
book?
I don't know.
Nah.
We're all memorizing our lines. Doubtful.
Yeah, you memorize the Hamilton songs, don't you?
Yeah, every word.
So what's different about this?
Well, there's gonna be like dialogue too, right? The life
Yeah.
and times of Colleen Ballinger.
Yeah.
Greek tragedy.
I'm seeing beautiful scenes where the weenies are on one side of the stage, Colleen's on the other. Physical distance.
Fun.
Toxic gossip string. You tie me to the tracks and harass me. Rumors look like facts
when you don't mind the gaps. But hey,
Don't survive in the crash like hate.
Okay, ready?
Oh yeah.
Spotlight dims. Curtains close. Crazy, dude.
Amazing.
Shout out Colleen, man. That's a masterpiece, actually. When I hear myself sing it, I like the song all of a sudden. All right, we're at 30 minutes. Let's thank our wonderful sponsors. When we come back, we've got a few more goofs and gaffs before we get Alexa on the phone. So, with that being said, thank you to ExpressVPN. Yes. Listen, you've heard me talk about how important it is to have a VPN to protect your online privacy. But choosing a VPN you trust is equally as important. Now, I like to do research on my sponsors, and I only recommend brands to my listeners that I believe in. That's true, actually. They wrote that for me to say that, but it is true.
Right.
I can say with full confidence that ExpressVPN is the best VPN on the market, and here's why. They also wrote that verbatim, but I also co-sign it. It is true. I love ExpressVPN. It's the only one I would use personally. You know, let me tell you why. Number one, ExpressVPN doesn't log your activity online. They have lots of cheap or free VPNs. They make money by selling your data. Also, those ones are slow, worthless crap. But ExpressVPN doesn't do any of that. They even developed a technology trusted server that makes their VPN servers incapable of storing any data at all. It's impossible. You know? Number two, speed. ExpressVPN uses Lightway, a new VPN protocol that they engineered to make user speeds faster than ever. I've tried many VPNs in the past, and whenever I tried VPNs before this one, I was doing the free ones, but they were slow. It was like pointless. You couldn't really use them. But ExpressVPN is always blazing fast, and it lets me stream videos in HD quality with zero buffering. The last thing that really sets ExpressVPN apart is just how easy it is to use. You don't need any tech skills. Love ya, ExpressVPN. No tech skills required. Just fire it up. Fire up the app. Tap one button to connect, and that's it. Even your grandmother could do it.
Cheers.
I'm willing to put that theory to the test. Next time ExpressVPN sponsors us, I'm going to have my mom try to activate it.
Nice.
They're not going to like that ad. Or maybe they will, because it will go for like an hour.
Now with ExpressVPN, she'll get it right away.
She'll get one button, one click, she'll get it for sure. No, but it's not just me saying that. It's CNET, Business Insider, The Verge, many other tech journals are all saying ExpressVPN is the #1 VPN in the world. I love it. Yeah. So protect yourself with the VPN that I use and trust. Use my link, expressvpn.com/h3 today, and get an extra 3 months for free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/h3. Visit expressvpn.com/h3 to learn more. And thank you so much to our sponsors. If you're looking for a VPN, please consider supporting them. Thank you. And finally, we have PayPal Honey. Woo. An absolute fave, man. What can I say? Just the best. I mean, you got no reason not to install Honey right now. Why? It's free. Takes one click to install. It's just a browser extension. You could also activate it on your iPhone now by putting it on Safari. Okay? Here's what it does. You're shopping. Imagine you're shopping at your favorite online store. And I'm talking, it could be food, could be clothes, could be furniture, could be video games, could be tech, whatever it is. You got a bunch of stuff. You're feeling good, right? $200. You know, you got a couple new games, a couple wires. You know what I mean? You're checking out. $200. No, that's not the price. Okay? Because when you're at checkout, Honey goes, yo, listen. A little pop-up comes down and says, yo, let's check for coupons. Let's scour the entire internet for the best coupon code. You're like, that sounds good. Click.
Love ya.
Love ya. Click. Bar. Tick, 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 tick. Takes 5 seconds. Boop, boop, boop. Comes back. Boom. Automatically applied the best coupon. How much did I save? 10, 20, 30% every time? It's unbelievable. These are all real bona fide savings. You don't
even have to think about it, dude.
Absolutely. Oh. Can you play that after the ad? Because I had a funny joke about it.
Look at that.
Sure.
$400.
Yeah, this is. I'm being dead serious. These are all 100% real savings. Me and Hila did at home on our, just buying stuff online. It's. I don't use any browser without it. It's saved us thousands of dollars, just straight up. Like, I can't even front, man. So, as I said, Honey doesn't just work on desktops. It works on your iPhone now, too. Just activate it on Safari on your phone and save on the go. So if you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this show. Thank you. Get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/H3. That's joinhoney.com/H3. Thank you. Thank you to Honey. Please consider supporting our sponsors. Thank you, guys. Yes.
You don't even have to think about it, dude.
Okay. This I'm feeling. Lin-Manuel sings as Miranda sings.
Wow.
Yo, that looks good. He's convincing.
He's telling the truth, I can tell.
Right, because he's doing the cute lip biting thing.
Yeah.
You don't even have to think about
That's
it, dude.
when Lin serves the most. That's when you know he's really into a role.
Why does he do that, Lin? Stop doing that.
He's
Because he knows he looks hot.
I have too much respect for you, bro. To see a man walk around like this.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Alrighty. So, okay, let's talk about, this is pretty funny. Let's talk about Prime Energy Drink. Logan Paul posted something pretty fucking fantastic today. And I'll preface this by saying, Matt Pat put out a really good video about Prime that you could consider watching. I watched it the other night. Where is it? I guess it's Prime. But anyway, the thrust of his investigation is that Prime as a sports drink is total bullshit. Because they go, we have double the electrolytes. So the electrolytes that your body needs to re-energize itself or to rehydrate itself is sodium. And Prime has like the least amount of sodium of any sports drink on the market, and they have a ton of magnesium, which is considered electrolyte, but your body doesn't use it
Prime
in the same way it uses sodium. So his actually here, maybe I'll just play his conclusion for you guys. It's pretty good.
Fundamentally delivering a different product than the Gatorades and Powerades of the world. Honestly, that the definition of sports drinks and rehydration beverages are just too broad and ill-defined. If you're looking to replace sweat in your body, you need something with more sodium, something that Prime does not deliver on. That said, it's not like Logan is pulling a scam here or anything. He is delivering on exactly what he says he is, a drink full of electrolytes, more than any other sports drink in the space. But electrolytes aren't equivalent. They don't function the same. The formulation of Prime is fundamentally delivering a different product than the Gatorades and Powerades of the world, which in turn allows it to taste less salty while still
So that's the thing too. He's kind of sneaky because people go, oh, it tastes better. And that's because they don't put the one ingredient you actually need to have in it to function as an energy drink, which is sodium. So they put a bunch of potassium so that they can be like, it has more electrolytes. Total bullshit. And then they dump the sodium so it tastes better. It's not all salty.
Eating in the same broad category. My personal concern is that other brands, seeing the threat to its consumers, might change their more scientifically accurate formulations to better compete with the increasing threat and better taste of Prime. Something that I suspect will end up being a net negative for the entire sports drink market.
So there you go. According to Matt Pat, Logan Paul is ruining everything. Pretty interesting analysis, right?
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
Right. I don't know if it's gonna stop me.
It's not gonna stop.
He was saying
Yeah.
like, are you guys really fuck with Prime?
I will never not.
Yeah, I love the blue one.
The
Oh my
red,
God.
white, and blue one, the Rocket
All
Pop.
right, I'm not gonna argue.
The energy
To me, it
drink,
just tasted really sweet, but I don't know.
the energy drink is whatever. I'm not really a fan of the energy drink.
I've never
but
had
the
that
regular
one.
Prime I really like.
So for most people, like we're not elite athletes that need to like replenish our electrolytes because we just ran for 20 miles or something. So for most people, it doesn't matter at all.
Right.
But he made a good point. He's like, if you're drinking Prime, you should do it like you're just having a flavored beverage, not like you're having some kind of sports drink.
Yeah.
It doesn't really function like that. But anyway, with all that being said, here's Logan Paul. Check this email out he got. This is an urgent thank you for my 9-year-old son. It's an urgent thank you. What makes a thank you urgent? I need you to be thanked immediately.
Yeah.
Right fucking now.
Thank you.
It's urgent that I thank you. I wanted to reach out to you in regards to how your product has greatly impacted the health of my 9-year-old son. Attached is a pic of my son, Ethan. Over the last year or so, Ethan had been suffering from headaches, nausea, weakness, and other signs of dehydration, even though drinking plenty of liquid throughout the day. Now, I'm not a doctor, but have you talked to one? Because headache, nausea, weakness is I definitely wouldn't go straight to dehydration, especially if he's drinking liquid.
No.
You know?
Sounds like caffeine abstinence, kind of.
What?
Caffeine, like abstinence. No.
But he's a 9-year-old.
Yeah, well, still.
You think 9-year-olds are drinking a ton of caffeine?
Isn't there caffeine in Prime?
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Wait, I read something.
In the
There's
sports,
like
or in the
energy drink.
Energy one.
Okay, not in the normal one.
Okay.
Let me see the normal. I'll double check.
That wouldn't make any sense because caffeine dehydrates you.
Right.
So anyway, this had severely impacted his school and sports participation as well as just normal play as a kid. The doctor had run some basic tests and done diet changes and all, but nothing seemed to do anything more than help a little bit. My older son plays high school football and used your drink frequently and had raved about the flavor, but we never knew exactly what the drink would mean until recently. Ethan was having one of those days of symptoms mentioned above, and as we picked up my older son from workouts, he had some of his Prime hydration drink left. Dude, this is the fakest shit ever. She had some of the Prime hydration copyrighted beverage.
That's insane.
Prime.
And they gave it to Ethan. Within minutes, he was perked up. He had color back. His headache had gone away, and he was back to being himself. What? What is this miracle serum?
From death to life.
Looking online, I had seen the video saying it was underdosed or didn't have certain ingredients, so on. This is straight up a response to MatPat's fucking video. Listen to this. Now, I saw videos online or whatever that said they don't have enough ingredients. And so-called experts. What fucking parent would write this shit? Please tell me. Okay. I can tell you it's completely false what the experts say. This is like a Fiverr testimonial. It has truly changed the daily life and well-being of my 9-year-old son, Ethan. We now give him one daily Prime. He covered it. It's like medicine for our dear son. He has 3 Primes a day. Morning, lunch, dinner. Without Prime, he'd be nothing. Without Prime, he goes back to his sad, pathetic self.
Mm-hmm.
His favorite flavor is the red one. It packs such a... It's so flavorful. When I tried it, I couldn't believe it how flavorful it was.
Essentially like a chug jug in Fortnite.
It's a... Exactly.
It heals him.
I couldn't believe the balance of flavors, sweetness.
All different flavors.
It was incredible.
Intense lack of saltiness.
God,
So good.
who made this thing? Yes, I'm stunned even writing this. Even his doctor supports him using the drink and loves the results he had. Give me a fucking break.
Who's this guy's doctor?
Imagine a pediatrician being like, yo, you must drink more Prime right now. That's why you're feeling better. He loves the ice pop one the most.
Yes. Good taste.
It's the hardest to find. Oh, listen how this talks. He loves the ice pop one most, which around here could be hard to find at our local Kroger's and Walmart.
I haven't been able to get it on Amazon for like a month.
Wow.
It's really devastating.
Yeah.
I'm like
Is that like your
waiting.
preferred beverage?
It's my preferred treat. You know what I mean? It
treat?
feels like a little treat.
Yeah. If I'm like at Target or something, I'll grab it. But
Well,
it's been sold out.
According to this
Yeah.
parent, you can get it at your local Kroger's or Walmart.
Let's go, AB, after this.
I try to buy several when I see them, even if I don't always have the money. I don't always have the money, but it's like medicine. He likes the green one as well, by the way, Logan.
I'm surprised you didn't put the price. It's
Right.
available for just the low price of whatever it is.
It's available for $1.99, which you compare to other energy brands, it's a really well priced. Again, I just wanted to thank you and your company for what your product has meant to us. As a father, the most important thing to me is my children. And when something is going on health-wise, it truly becomes a stop the world and make it better situation. And that is how Prime saved my child's life. Like, okay, let me put it this way. Even if I got an email like this, I would think this is so ridiculous. There's no way I'm going to share this. Not Logan, who is a serial scammer, by the way. Remember that? So anyway, here he posted a picture of the kid. We're going to hook you up, buddy. Stay hydrated, buddy. Look how happy he is with that Prime in his hand. It's good for children and adult alike. Children and adult both love Prime.
Oh, yeah, bro.
And by the way, it's giving me this. I know Logan would never exploit a child for his own benefit. That would never happen. Not Logan Paul.
These glasses have changed my life.
Logan, you are my hero.
Oh, right. I forgot about this.
The world to me. Oh, what? That's my boy. Logan Paul put me in one of his videos.
It's a fact that everyone has a hero.
Double fact.
And sometimes when you're tickled just the right way, you gotta make
You
a
gotta
dumbass
make a
song
dumbass
about
song
it.
about it. Here we
So
go.
this is that dumbass song. Double fact.
Double fact.
I'm feeling tickled.
Wait, what?
Yeah, yeet. I saw this
Yeet.
video saying, Logan, you're my hero.
I'll never forget that opening shot when you said he looks like his own mother. Like, you're like, what's with that hair? Why do you look like your own mom somehow?
Wait, I don't even know. I don't remember saying that. Who, Logan?
Yeah.
Like his blowout.
Oh, right.
Not like
and
his
that
actual
weird,
mom, but yeah.
the weird ass shot with
He
him.
just looks like a mother.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Something's going on here. Let me just show you guys my favorite scene, and then we'll move on. The one where he compares him to MLK.
Real quick, did this? I think this might have gotten us claimed last time.
We probably disputed it.
Okay.
We've watched this so many times on the show. Yeah, this is, I mean, you know, if I had this banger too, I'd be claiming it everywhere. He actually compares this kid to MLK, which I thought was really powerful. Where is this goddamn MLK scene? He projects a picture of MLK on the pool. Awesome, bro. Look at this cool dude.
Everybody needs some more.
It's at roughly 1 minute.
Oh, okay. It's an early hit.
Yeah.
Here it is, guys. Feast your eyes on this. Oh, it's just about to hit it, man.
And you're my hero, saying I'm the man like I'm some type of Robert De Niro. I don't know why though, this kid looks like he's shy though, but he tore up that track like a gosh darn tornado. Just a boy from Ohio, following his dreams. I'm somebody's hero? Wow,
That's amazing.
And if you really believe it, you can do anything. You can go and start a movement. Look at Martin Luther King.
Yo! You can look at Martin Luther King, bro. You can do anything.
That's amazing.
Does this? I've got to say, it's a little racist what he did here in the pool. I don't know why, but it doesn't feel right.
I mean, yeah, the comparison.
Maybe not right. Maybe I'm being silly, but to demean everything this man has achieved to put him in a pool as a prop in your song.
Let me tell you about banana.
No, whatever. This is funny.
Yeah.
All right, there it is. So, actually, speaking of which, we did get a letter. This came in, I think you got this, right, Olivia? It came in a few days ago.
Yeah.
It was written by. It just said urgent message for Ethan and Nikolas, so we opened it.
We just got it here. It was delivered.
Yeah, it's handwritten. He says, yeah, urgent message for Ethan and Nikolas. Also, feel free to use my story for any promotional material and marketing methods, or as the more money you can make off me, the happier I'd be. Whoa, thanks for saying that. I'm a 9-year-old loser. Don't start like that. I'm a 9-year-old loser from some town you probably never heard of and would never want to visit. That's probably true. All my life I was bullied, shoved in lockers, swirlied, hogtied, tossed in a river with bricks attached to my feet because I'm a freak with a debilitating skin condition and everybody hates me. Has he tried drinking Prime?
I don't think so. This stuff wouldn't be happening.
No. The disease I have makes it so I break out in rashes every time I put on any article of clothing, along with projectile vomit and shitting myself at the same time. An action known as the human screenshot. Oh. If I so much as touch an uncomfortable shirt or icky pair of pants, I would immediately break out in hives and drop a juicer down my leg. Kids would call me Augustus Gloop, the way I would be swimming in fecal chocolate river of my own creation. Smelly, this kid is a really good writer, though. Smelly, naked, and afraid as they all laughed at me. That is until I found Teddy Fresh, TM, trademarked. Oh, I got to post this on Instagram. Hold the phone. The smooth, ultra-soft fabric was like a luxurious cloud on my skin, holding me close in its soothing, gentle caress like a hug from God. Whoa. That's crazy. Teddy Fresh helped him so much. And we did that for him.
Yeah.
We did that for him. The smooth, ultra-soft fabric was like I already read that. My skin condition has healed, and all my classmates actually voted for me to be the mayor. The mayor? That's such an incredible turnaround. I'm mayor now, and we're renaming it to TeddyFresh.com, Nebraska. They're changing the town name to TeddyFresh.com. That's so cool. Thank you for changing my life. You're a saint and a scholar, and I urge everybody to purchase Teddy Fresh. It may save your life the way it saved mine. And if you don't, you're probably a bad person who belongs in jail. Yours truly, Craig, mayor of the town, 4th grade student.
Wow.
Dude, we really helped that kid, man.
Do you see the photo of him, too? They attached? It's in the Discord.
Yeah. Here, he sent a photo of himself. Here, we're going to hook you up, buddy. Stay clothed, big guy. Wow. We'll send you, he's a little small. We'll send him the women's small. That should fit him.
You know, this kid's going places.
Yeah, and it's all because of you and Hila. That's amazing.
Dude, we saved his life. He'd be living in a fucking cave eating raw fish like Schmeagol.
He owes you big time.
I don't want to jump the gun, but this kid might be the next Malcolm X if he keeps rocking this clothing brand. It might, you never know.
It might be the next what?
Malcolm X.
Oh, Malcolm X, right. Well, that's...
Right.
I prefer, Malcolm X, I think he has some critics, right? People are critical of Malcolm X? MLK, nobody says shit about MLK, you know what I mean?
True.
No one puts Malcolm X on a pool.
Not to put Malcolm X
pool.
down, but I don't know much about him. Please don't come for me, okay? I don't know.
Different methods to just...
But Malcolm X was like... No, I'm not saying anything about Malcolm X or MLK. I'm stopping right now. Ethan Klein is my hero. That's a miracle, man. Thank you. And I look forward to visiting TeddyFresh.com in Nebraska. It sounds like a beautiful town. You know, I think he has a chance of growing up and becoming Charles Manson.
Oh, so...
I think he's got some critics, too.
Oh, not be loved. Okay.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Well,
Charles Manson and Teddy Fresh. That'd be crazy.
X Teddy Fresh? Why not?
Why not?
Malcolm X is based. You guys are right.
Yeah.
People didn't like MLK at the time. That's right. But catch someone talking shit these days, see what happens. Actually, didn't Crowder do that recently? Look at his life. It's absolutely ruined as a man. There's more MLK haters than Malcolm X haters? What? Okay, whatever. Malcolm X forever. He'll be a Malcolm X. He'll grow up and he'll be Malcolm X. Is that what you guys want? All right, so our guest is on the line, right?
Yep.
So, as I set up in the beginning, Alexa Nikolas is going to be joining us here any second. You can bring her on, AB.
Okay.
And I very much look forward to talking to her. I'm really excited that she's calling into the show. Hello.
Our audio's connecting.
She is connecting. We are connecting. You can hear me, but I can't hear you, right? I think. But as she works on that, let me give you nightmares. Oh, there you go. Now I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I made it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm extremely pregnant right now. I could go into labor at any moment. So,
are you 9 months pregnant?
I am in my birth window. Yeah.
Yo. Is this your first child?
No, it's my second. So I hope it's just gonna slide out.
I think it should, right? I mean, that's what happened with my wife.
Did it?
The second one came out so fast, she almost gave birth on the toilet.
See, I need all those vibes.
But it was good. Dude, I don't know if you know, but I drove my wife to the hospital.
Okay.
At the minute she started having contractions, it was like COVID was happening, a bigger deal at the time. I went and parked the car. It was the middle of the night. And then I had to do a COVID test and wait for 15 minutes so by the time I went up there, the baby was already born.
Wait, you didn't even see the birth happen?
No, I missed the whole fucking birth.
That's incredible though for her.
Yeah. So hopefully
not really for you.
Well, it's okay. You know what I mean? I've seen it once before. What could be the difference?
Yeah, one is enough, honestly. It's a really intense experience. I had a home birth with no medication.
Oh my God.
And I'm doing it again, which I don't know why I'm doing that again, but I'm just going for it at this point.
Well, you know what you're getting yourself into, so.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I definitely do.
Well, I hope you have an easy birth and a beautiful, happy, healthy baby.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
As before we get started here, I wanted to ask you. Oh, let me introduce you a little bit. So Alexa Nikolas, we talked about it a bit. You were an actor, a child actor on Zoey 101. Is that right?
That is sadly correct.
Sadly correct. And so you had lots of experience with creepy men on set and off set.
Yes, I did.
And so I wanted to ask you about those. One question I wanted to ask you from the beginning, though, is have you ever got any legal threats from any of these people that you've talked about?
No.
That is interesting. Is that something you're afraid of happening? Because
No. I mean, I say the truth about everything, and I mean, I've just it's never happened, so I don't have any fear around it. The last time I dealt with a lawyer, I ended up uncovering a really bad past of his, honestly, and so that kind of changed everything. And he ended up just not even deposing me after I found out about his past. So no, I'm not really afraid of lawyers, to be quite honest with you.
Well, you know what the ultimate truth, the ultimate defense to defamation is?
Facts.
Truth. Yeah, exactly. The truth. Okay,
yeah, actually, my kid's name is Truth. I'm naming my kid Truth.
What are your other kids' names? Are your other kids' name? Nova?
Nova and Truth.
Beautiful.
Girl and a boy. I'm done after this.
Lovely. Beautiful.
Thank you.
We're hopefully going to be having a third boy soon, which is.
Are you serious?
Pretty crazy, yeah.
Oh my God! Congratulations.
Well, so we don't know yet. My wife went in for the IVF insertion last Friday, so we'll see. But we'll see.
Well, congratulations.
So tell me, how old were you and when did you start working on Zoey 101?
Okay, so I was about 12 years old when I started working on Zoey 101, but I was a child actor before that. I started acting when I was around 3 years old.
Okay, so was Zoey 101 the first time you encountered some problems, issues, weird stuff? Okay.
Yes, definitely. I didn't experience anyone quite like Dan until Dan.
Right.
You know.
I didn't watch the Zoey 101, but it was a popular show, right? It was on
It was
Nickelodeon.
a very, very popular show. Honestly, apparently we would get like 10 million viewers,
Holy
and then
crap.
the reruns would have just as many viewers as like the air dates. It was a
That's
really
enormous.
It was enormous.
And you were on the first 2 seasons, is that right?
I was, yeah.
Okay. And so
You're getting them all right. You're getting all of these.
Okay, good. Well, I'm good.
You're doing good.
We're on
You're
the
doing
same
really
page.
well.
Okay, good.
Yes, we're on the same page.
So Dan Schneider was the, I guess, the writer director of that show, and he now has been exposed as being an extremely creepy dude.
Extremely.
And so I'm curious about your experiences with him on set.
Yeah, well, I've been, I guess people could say I've been pretty honest and have said a lot about my experiences on set with him. I never really experienced anything to me. It was more things that I witnessed, and then obviously the wardrobe fitting situation and the goo pop, the green goo pop, and things like that.
Okay,
And then
okay, so what was the wardrobe situation?
he would be in the wardrobe fittings.
With all the young girls changing.
It was just me. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I honestly don't know, because like wardrobe fittings, you would just be one-on-one with like the wardrobe person and then Dan in this situation. But it was like a small trailer, and it would just be like a little curtain, and he would just always be on the other side, like to the point where I would hear the chair like creaking if he even breathed, basically, when I was on the other side. And now looking back at that, it doesn't seem right, because I never experienced that ever again. That was only a Dan experience.
Yeah, I can't imagine what valuable input he would have. Did he ever give input on the outfits, or was he just sitting there?
He would give inputs. No, he would give, and he would also want the Polaroids.
Oh, that's foul. That's foul.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he took the Polaroids after.
That's a problem. And
Yeah,
then what
it's
was
pretty
you talked
problematic.
about the goo? What about the goo thing?
Oh, God, man, this is just, that's how this Business Insider article literally started, with what I said about the goo. I don't even think I can say this on YouTube, honestly. But basically, there was an episode where I was supposed to be trying to open this goo pop, and I couldn't open it. And then at some point it opens and it lands on Zoe's face. And instead of just having like it naturally happen and have it land wherever, they ended up having like the prop person, our production person, end up getting a syringe and aiming it in a very specific place that Dan wanted. And if you look back at that footage, it doesn't sit right. And after it landed on her face, I mean, there was an uproar of laughter. All the guys and boys were laughing. And then I ended up hearing one of the boys actually say what it reminded him of. And at that point, I didn't even know what the hell that even meant. So I was just trying to like, I guess, smile along and no idea what was going on, and then watched it later on in my life and was like, oh, that's why they were laughing hysterically. And oh, this was an adult joke, exploitation happening to a minor at the time on set.
I haven't seen the clip, but I have it. Is it okay if I pull it up?
Sure.
I'll watch it first, and then I'll see if I think it's appropriate to show the people.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine to show.
Okay.
Oh, you think you're worried about claims? I mean, it's so short. Golly, that'd be crazy if it got claimed. I mean, here it is.
This also happened in Victorious. They had like the scene
his other
just like this,
show.
but it was with lotion. Like a teacher was like hitting a lotion bottle, and it went on Trina's like face.
And that was one of his other shows, right?
Yeah. It was his later show.
Oh, he does this kind of stuff a lot.
So, can you pull that clip? I'd be curious.
can-
So
yeah,
here,
for sure.
here it is, and
All the clips.
here it is. Don't people are saying don't play? I mean, it's fine. It's safe for work. 10 million kids saw it, apparently.
10 million.
It out like that. All I do is squeeze a little like this.
And so he was very specific about how that shot was going to be done.
Yes. Yes. And the sad part is like all the adults were laughing along with him, and there's just a child there not really understanding. Like you can even see on her face like she's trying to like understand why she should be laughing too, maybe.
That's so
Yeah.
wild.
It's pretty wild.
So one thing that strikes me about the Dan Schneider thing is like there must have been other adults on set that knew that he was doing inappropriate things. And right? You as an adult looking back, it must feel like that.
Yes. I mean, if I saw half of the shit that was going on set now, like at 31, I mean, I would be walking off of set, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it was so inappropriate at times. You're just like,
But no
well,
one ever
why
said
did-
anything, huh?
No one.
Right.
No, this guy would literally be like requesting massages from the wardrobe women. And he'd be in this tent, like, you know, sweating, getting massages from the women on set. It was just crazy.
That was back during the days when Harvey Weinstein and all these big time Hollywood people could just they felt untouchable, right? I mean, he was huge in the Nickelodeon empire.
Completely. I mean, apparently there was even a lawsuit, I think, allegedly, during the Amanda Bynes show where, you know, he was doing just that. And someone literally sued the whole situation. And, you know, 20 years later, he was still doing it. It just goes to show you that the networks are just as, you know, complicit in these predatory men behavior types.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't think these predators would survive, honestly, if it wasn't for the protection, these like enablers around them, powerful enablers.
100%. I think when we look back on all these powerful men that fell, a lot of them were, just being totally protected by the network because they were making them a ton of money. They were burying accusations. They were burying lawsuits, settling lawsuits. They knew that these dudes were scum.
They had it in the budget. They would actually
shit.
have it in the budget to like
Wow.
for hush hush money.
Wow.
Etc. Like, I mean, there's even a situation where WMG was like literally mentioned in the NDAs, you know, and you're just like, that's just doesn't sit right with me, you know?
Here is the wholesome and super not creepy Dan Schneider.
Lord. I mean, every image of him, honestly, sadly, is just that. You know, it's pretty, there's no like normal photo of him. I guess New York Times tried to do like a whole spread of him where he was trying to look normal and whatever. But even him normal was awkward.
This is as normal as I can find him.
Oh, God. Why is he always doing like a choke hold with
Right. He's holding her so tight, like loosen the grip.
Why? Yeah, like why do you need to hold, like, why let go? She also, you can tell she wants him kind of to let go. You know what I mean?
So here's the other one, and I'm guys, if you don't want to watch it, just look away. I'm gonna open the lotion.
I've never seen this one, so.
So to me, I kind of want to know the context of everything. I think but again, if you don't want to watch it, I'm about to show it now. So fair warning. This is from Victorious.
What the fuck?
Was that it? That was it, huh?
He does it more.
He does it more.
No, he doesn't.
He goes in for another one?
She just has the lotion on her face.
Oh, there was no need for that. Oh, that's fucked up. That's so foul, dude.
Yo, it's like Danny Elfman's situation. Have you heard about Danny Elfman?
No.
Apparently, he like sent allegedly bodily fluids in a cup to someone who was working for him, and his defense right now is that it was Cetaphil.
What is he? I'm looking up. I'm trying to read.
This is Halloween.
Oh, Oingo Boingo.
Yeah,
He's the Oingo Boingo guy?
Dude, he's Nightmare whatever before Christmas.
So he sent someone a cup. Okay, all right, Danny.
Yeah, I know, Danny Elfman, and he's also allegedly an elf man, literally.
Which I
mean, if you look
I
at
don't
his
believe
face.
that for a second. So Dan Schneider eventually as these rumors started to circulate, I guess Nickelodeon was forced to fire him, and he's been disgraced, right?
No one can find him.
Really?
I mean, he's gone missing, man. I haven't heard from him. No one's heard from him. Some guy who I don't know, Steve something Hicks, who apparently was a former president at Nickelodeon, made some kind of defense statement for him that was just creepy and weird. But Dan Schneider's just honestly nowhere to be found. He just
I hate to say it, but I know where he is.
Where?
He's got to be in Thailand or Southeast Asia somewhere where he can act out his sick fucking fantasies.
Oh my God.
That's literally where every old creepy white dude moves.
It's true, actually. When I went to Thailand, it was pretty wild how many like German and random just white dudes
I saw
are
that.
there.
Me and Hila went there a while ago, walking through Bangkok. So many old white dudes cruising by themselves.
Yes. Yes.
And they
Of
look
course
like
they're by themselves.
And they look like they fit the you know what I mean? I don't know what a P word necessarily looks like, but if I had to
But
choose,
it's them.
Yeah, but it is them. They look just like that.
I know exactly. I experienced the same thing when I went to Thailand as well.
So he's there.
I'm sure Dan's just fitting in.
Yeah, he's there. He fits.
He's
perfect. So, was there anything else that happened on set? I didn't hit. I don't know much about it. I'm interested.
I mean, honestly, it was more also what happened afterwards. After I was working for Nickelodeon, when I saw a clip of Ariana Grande that Dan Schneider allegedly filmed and created. And it was just so out of line. And that's actually what triggered a lot of my memories. Like, you just kind of block that stuff out when, you're a kid, I think. Like, he was such an abusive person too. Like, I don't know if you heard, but that's why I left Nickelodeon, was because of his verbal abuse and what was kind of happening on
to kids.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff would he tell you?
Well, he just ended up bringing me into a room at Nickelodeon and just like degrading me and saying that the show wasn't called Zoey 101. I mean, it was called Zoey 101. It wasn't called Nicole 101. It was called Zoey 101. And I need to know basically my place here. And it was just a very traumatic experience. I was crying in the chair, and it was like the last time that I could honestly deal with that type of situation with him in that set environment. And after that, I just ran out, like, crying to my mom. And I was like, I never want to see these people again. And she took me right out of there.
Wow.
And
good
we
for you.
basically, thank you. Yeah. Thanks to my mom, honestly.
It's pretty mature for a kid to come, I feel like, to come to that conclusion.
Yes. I mean, I got put through the ringer on that show. It was a pretty bad 3 years, I would say, of my life. Yeah, Jamie Lynn Spears was just created a very toxic, unhealthy work environment.
So I want to ask you about the Jamie Spears thing, but when you were in the office with Dan, was it just the two of you?
It wasn't. It was actually a whole bunch of other execs at Nickelodeon. And that's why I ended up protesting Nickelodeon. Oh, yeah. It was like 5 adults.
Was there anyone advocating for you in there, or was it just you?
No. It was just me. So first they had my mom in there. And then I was very upset, obviously. And they said, like, maybe it's best if we just have like a one-on-one conversation with Alexa. Hear what's actually happening. Maybe she'll feel more comfortable or whatever. Oh yeah, super manipulative.
Dude.
My mom calls the agent, like my agent, and she's like, well, Alexa goes in for auditions all the time anyways, alone, like what bad could happen? So I end up going in there alone, and that's when he really just went to town on little version of me.
That is so sad. I feel like on set, maybe I'm being optimistic, but I'd be surprised to see kind of that stuff happening, like a little girl going in the room by herself with a bunch of executives to get grilled. I mean, it sounds so fucked up.
It honestly was. That's why, I mean, I'm never putting obviously my child in the entertainment industry. That experience alone just really kind of scarred me for life. And he's not the creepiest person in Hollywood, but he definitely is one of them.
Right.
Definitely one of them.
Right. Well.
Yeah.
Who's your number one? You have someone in mind who's like King Creeper? I like to always think about Brian Singer. He's like the creepiest dude.
Oh
in
yeah,
Hollywood.
Brian Singer.
Yeah.
I never met him, never had any experiences with him, but yeah, no, isn't it?
You're not
who's he
his type.
represented by? No, I'm not his type. I am not. I got through in the clear on that one.
Yeah, you
Not his
may
type.
have been invited to one of his hot tub parties if you were.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the sad part. Is like, honestly, it's gotten better, because they're a little bit more afraid maybe of getting called out, but it hasn't really changed, that much, I would say. Like, I'm still hearing, things are happening, which is pretty upsetting. They're just also better at cleaning up now too. Like they're just better at cleaning it up.
That I hate to hear. What was the Ariana Grande thing you were referencing? Was that the feet thing?
Yes, and it's like her on the edge of the bed, pouring water on her as a teenage girl, and it's like just very webcam-esque, underage girl, and there's even a point where she's like squeezing the potato and asking it to give her juice, and
Ew.
It's so out of line. Like, that's what really upsets me too, because apparently Nickelodeon also approved of that, allegedly. And it's just like, well, why are all these people around? I mean, there's so many adults around. Wouldn't someone at some point go, hey, this looks like this, or this is giving me this kind of feel, and I think it's, this kid's being exploited right now.
That's what I wonder too. But I guess people are they're keeping their mouth shut because it's like
they want to keep their jobs.
Okay, so I have this clip. If you guys don't want to watch it, once again, I encourage you to not watch it. It is just a clip from a kid's show. I mean,
it can't be that bad,
right? There's no audio, I guess, on this. You can bring it up. It's okay.
No one would ever say that. Why? Because if you were soaking wet and you were upset about it, the last thing you'd want is for somebody to bring you the ocean. Because the ocean is even more wet than even the wettest person in the world. Have you ever tried to get your whole big toe in your mouth? Check
Oh
this
yeah,
out.
I saw this. And so apparently he has like a foot thing, right?
Yeah, allegedly.
There's no reason for that.
From a potato.
No.
Is it possible for a teenage girl to drink water upside down? I'm thirsty.
That's too much.
Not possible. This has been me.
That's too much.
It's so fucking much, man. It's so out of line. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And I guess that's why he's in Thailand now and no one can find him.
Whoa. There's old I have some of his old erased tweets. I don't know if
yeah, you never seen these?
No. Here's Dan Schneider. Video, would you like to see Victoria Justice pour ketchup all over her feet? Well, here you go. It's not enough that he's doing it. He needs to share it with all of his friends.
It's ridiculous. And it's called the slap. Like, why is it called the slap? What, any other names to choose, man, that's not creepy and violent?
Here's another one. Pick. Carly tickles Sam's very unusual toes. The fuck did you describe her toes? If you have a moment, will you please name Sam's toes for us? What grown man writes like this anyway?
Please tell me. I want to know.
Who? I mean, some dude who's living in Thailand.
Some dude that's living in Thailand and fitting right in. There's so many of them. He asked kids around U.S. to send. Yes.
This is he made Sam and Cat. I used to watch that show.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was a cartoon, right? Or
Wait, no.
Okay, I'm thinking of Dog Cat.
You think Cat Dog?
Cat Dog. I never watched Sam and Cat.
Interesting.
Look at this tweet. Sam and Cat tomorrow. right on the bottom of your foot. Take a picture and use hashtag SalmonCatSaturday, and we'll retweet and follow until our fingers get sore. Why the fuck? And yeah, I'm just gonna, yeah. You could. All the responses are kids' feet with markers on the bottom. It's so fucking vile. Like, what would be the purpose of that? Oh, here's Salmon Cat. Yeah, I didn't know anything about Salmon Cat.
That's Ariana Grande and Jeanette McCurdy. And actually, Jeanette McCurdy is, I mean, I called out a little bit of my personal experience with Dan Schneider in 2019. And then when Jeanette McCurdy came out with her book and I heard, those allegations, I was like, okay, enough is enough. And no one listened. I mean, when it was a book, all of a sudden people were paying attention. But when it was me, just like, on my Instagram Live, obviously, there was no media that gave really an honest fuck about it whatsoever. And so, yeah, her book is really what drove me as a mom, honestly, to Nickelodeon.
Has Ariana Grande ever spoke about this stuff publicly? No, she hasn't.
No, but Dan Schneider tried to get me to, basically sign an NDA in 2019.
Oh, recently?
Yeah. I was living in Palm Springs at the time, and it was so strange. I was having a glass of wine. I was just chilling on the couch, and my boyfriend at the time was working at Ace Hotel in Palm Springs, and he texts me and says, "Hey, there's some lawyer calling him and messaging him looking for me." I was like, what? I thought it was a scam.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, it seems legit. Like they want to get into contact with you. I said, cool. That's all via text message. I was like, can you send their contact info over? And he did. And so I called, and it was some random dude who answered. And I was like, hi, it's Alex Nikolas. Apparently you're looking for me. And here I am. And he goes, oh, hi, this is, so-and-so, and I represent Schneider's Bakery. And I hadn't heard that name in such a long time. Like, I was taken aback. Like,
wait, what is Schneider's Bakery?
Schneider's Bakery is his production company. That's what he named it.
Okay.
Yeah. Not creepy at all. So, yeah, and I was like, oh, yes, like, what do you want, basically? And then he goes into saying if I was speaking to any documentary filmmakers about my personal experience with Dan. And I was, honestly, there were some people who were poking around, and I was having a few interactions with them. And so I was honest. I was like, well, I wasn't honest, actually. I said, it's really none of your business, but still none of your business. Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, I would like to know what you're telling them. And I said, well, that's definitely.
I bet you would, bitch.
Yes. It's like, and I'm definitely not going to be telling you at all.
Yeah.
Like Dan's like on the 3-way call. And so I said, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And then he goes to say, well, Dan and I would like to have you come into a room. Once again, it's like, listen, I've been into a room with Dan Schneider. Let me tell you, I'm never going into a room with Dan Schneider again. But he said, we'd like to come up with some type of agreement together. And if you're open to that, we are, basically. And I was just like, first of all, you're representing a fucking creep, and I wouldn't come up with any type of agreement with this creep. So no, I'm not coming in and doing this weird ass agreement with you guys. And he was like, well, if you change your mind, you could always call me back. I was like, I will not be changing my mind, and please do not call me again. And I hung up the phone. And now, fast forward, all of it did end up coming out, which is wild. But this is while it was starting to build. And so in my personal experience, I don't think I was the only person to get a phone call from Dan Schneider's lawyer. So I don't know how many people he was successful with,
Right. That's a good point. I mean, now, because when people started to feel more comfortable coming out, correct, there's got to be a few people who probably, took the money, and why not?
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, I can't judge anybody for taking that route either.
No, I mean, honestly, there's so many, the power dynamic alone, you just can't blame the person on the other end of that.
Especially if you need the money. And he's like, here's $100,000 just to sign this paper and not talk about me.
I know.
Wow. So he knew he was cooked if he was calling everybody up?
Yeah, he was calling me up, and I that was the last time I heard from Dan Schneider's Team Dan.
When did he
basically.
disappear?
He disappeared right around that Business Insider article that
He
came
just
out.
bailed.
That
Wow.
he bailed. Apparently, they got a whole bunch of statements where I think it was from like imaginary friends of Dan that were there to defend him, but off the record, like wouldn't say their names. And anytime that's happening, I'm just sorry, but I don't know if I can honestly buy that there was really anyone defending Dan.
Who cares though, too?
Yeah,
Even if they are
true.
real, it's like, okay.
True. It's true.
You're not
No,
one
it's
of his.
very
You're
true.
not his target.
True.
So,
No, it's
moving moving past the Dan Schneider thing, I am curious about what you were beginning to touch on with Jamie Spears. Brittney Spears' sister was one of your co-stars, right?
Yes. Yeah, Jamie was Zoey.
Oh, so Jamie Spears was the main character of this show, and you were
Yeah.
playing like her best friend?
Yeah, and her
Okay.
roommate.
Okay. And I understand that you guys had some conflict on set.
We did. I still don't really understand what the conflict was exactly, but she just didn't seem to really like me from day one. The first day that I met her, I went up to her, I remember, and just being super excited. And I was a very bubbly young girl, like very talkative, a little bit like my character Nicole, definitely. It's probably why I got the role. It wasn't hard for me to play her. And she was just very taken aback by my personality, I think, and just kind of gave me the cold shoulder. And I just thought, you know what? Honestly, maybe she's shy. Also, maybe she's experienced a whole bunch of different people coming up to her just for the fact that she's Brittney Spears' sister. So at first, I wasn't really taking it personally, but I did notice it right away. And then it just slowly escalated where there was no interaction between her and I. She wouldn't even respond to me. She wouldn't even sit with us at lunch sometimes. I wasn't invited to go sit with them at lunch in her trailer. And it just started to snowball, basically. And then it became bullying, where she would just say harsh things, to me, like, why do you smile so much? Like this kid bully shit, basically. But at that time it hurt. I was a kid.
It sounds like not only didn't it hurt, but it almost seems like other people on set were kind of forced to go along with her. Like when you say you went in the office and got said, and Dan Schneider was like, "You're not Zoey."
Yeah.
That sounds like something that probably he was influenced by something Jamie said.
Yeah, the culture is definitely, that's why, whoever's the first person on the call sheet, especially back then, there was that power dynamic. And that was kind of the person who everyone didn't want to get on their bad side, basically. And so she kind of created the culture of the set. And her not liking me made everyone else kind of feel like I think they had to also engage in that type of behavior. And so it was but it was sad because I just wanted to be friends with everybody. And it was just this wall to the point where they ended up getting rid of one of the girls on the show in the first season because of the bullying experience.
So she was doing this to other people as well.
Well, no, this girl was actually doing it with her to me.
And so why did she leave?
She got, they let her go.
Because she was so mean.
Yeah, it was.
Holy
It was
crap.
creating. She pushed me into a rock at one point in one of the episodes.
What the heck?
And yeah, it got it was just really bad. It sucks. Like it was just not a good time, honestly. And so yeah, they ended up having to let her go. And that's when they hired Victoria Justice for the second season. And I was stoked about that because strangely enough, her mom dated my uncle, like when they were in college. So there was like some kind of connection. And so I thought that was going to make the culture different on set because maybe me and Victoria would actually be friends, and that would create a different environment, and it did actually. Like we were best friends for the better half of the second season, and then all the girl dynamic culture, mean girl situation ended up happening again with her and Jamie, to the point where that's when the Britney Spears experience happened.
So
because
you're saying that Victoria was getting in trouble with Jamie, or that they were bullying? So they were
bullying me.
Okay.
Yeah. So at one point, like Victoria and I were totally fine, and then I don't know what happened. I think it was like literally a boy conversation. Like I remember it being something so teenage girl about a boy, and then I show up to set the next day, and I remember opening up the makeup trailer and seeing, Victoria like turn around and like laugh and then whisper into Jamie's ear, and they were like laughing. It was like so
horrible.
And it ridiculous.
It sounds silly, but I know it's so painful when you're that age.
It is.
Yeah, it's so painful.
You think the whole world is against you, really. If it's does anyone like me? It's hard. And so, and you're on set, and you can't, in those environments, you're not allowed to be human. Like kids weren't allowed to be human. You were supposed to be professional. Right. And professional basically meant robotic. You don't want to ruin the set vibe. And so you had to hold it all in, which was really hard for me. And so that ended up happening, and it escalated the last like 2.5 weeks of the second season, to the point where that's when Brittney ended up coming onto the set.
So I understand this kind of all culminated when Brittney Spears, someone that you were a big fan of,
yes,
Jamie's sister, came on set, and she had heard from her sister about, what a terrible person you were. And she screamed at you on set. Is that right?
In the trailer.
Or in the trailer.
So there was this guy named Ian who was our talent coordinator. And sometimes, your parents don't come with you always to and from set or to and from makeup and hair. There would be basically a talent coordinator who was your guardian, that actually him and the school teacher, they would be like your guardians if your parents weren't there on set.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ian came to the trailer, and it was a typical day. He just said, "Hey, I'm going to bring Alexa to makeup and hair." My mom said, "Okay, fine." I went with Ian. I remember him kind of acting a little bit strange as we were walking. And then he goes, "Hey, Brittney and Jamie would like to talk to you in the trailer." And a little bit of me was actually kind of hopeful that maybe that Brittney was going to come in and it was going to create some kind of mediation, and maybe Jamie was willing to sit down and talk to me for once, which is all I ever wanted, was just like a nice conversation to understand one another. And so in that moment, I'm thinking Brittney's going to be that person. I couldn't imagine Brittney not being that person at that time. She was like an idol, like as a kid. So I remember going, okay. And then we went over to the trailer, and I remember knocking on the door and then opening it. And right when I went to turn, Ian like fled. He just disappeared.
So this guy's looking out for your welfare, and he just tossed you to the sharks.
100%. Like that. And that happens a lot on these sets. Like, who's working for who, really? Sometimes, you're just like, it was child endangerment.
100. Yeah, because his interests are not aligned with yours just by the definition of his job, it seems like.
No.
Was this the first time you met Brittney Spears?
No.
Okay.
I mean, she came on set a few times. So
Okay.
like I saw, and she was always really nice. So that's why I really didn't think anything was strange. She was always so friendly every time she was coming onto set. And that's why I always say, like, imagine though if it wasn't, thank God it was just Brittney Spears in that fucking trailer. You know what I mean? Thank God it wasn't a predator in that trailer. That's how I started to think, like, wow, that guy just literally tossed me. God only knows what could have happened to me in that trailer. Thank God it was just Brittney Spears. Thank God. So yeah, anyways, I go into the trailer, and I just remember before I even hit the last step, Jamie runs to the back of the trailer, just like bails on whatever the hell is about to happen. So that's made me a little bit nervous, but I stepped in anyways. And I remember I stepped in, and Brittney comes beside me and locks the trailer door. And she just starts, I think she was like 8 months pregnant at the time. She was about me right now.
So you came in, and then Brittney locked the door behind you?
Yeah.
That's pretty ominous.
It was freaky. But now when I look back at it, I know the whole, situation that was happening. It makes sense, but it still obviously wasn't okay. None of that was okay that happened, but it makes a lot more sense now than it did then. Then it was just really, 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 really scary. And so I remember she just started yelling at me, telling me that I was bullying her sister. And I wanted to say something. And I just remember like literally feeling my throat, just close. I couldn't even speak. And I tried and I just started to cry and like hyperventilate. And she was like, I'm going to make sure you don't work again. And
that's wild.
I was like, oh my God, Britney Spears hates me, and as a kid, that now even made it so much worse. Now I have this idol of mine at that age, also now just hating my guts. And there's no one there protecting me. Ian bailed on me. My mom doesn't even know where I am. And it was really, really fucking scary. I just remember tunnel vision mode and like going back to the door because I fell a little bit backwards to like the couch area. And I remember getting up and just trying to find the door and then realizing it was locked again and having to unlock it. And then once I opened the door, I puked.
Oh my God.
Like it was so much, for my like.
Did they see? I wonder, did Brittney see you puke?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Did she say anything?
No one said, and no one cared.
They're like, that's normal.
Yeah.
This little girl just puked from being bullied and stressed and like tortured.
Yeah. Yeah. And I ran to my trailer, I remember. And, for a mom, like when I came in, my mom was just like, what the fuck? I'm hyperventilating. I just puked. I run to the toilet and I'm like literally in fetal position, just like rocking myself, basically just being like, I can't even explain. I remember her screaming, just saying, what happened? Like, please just tell me what happened. I couldn't. I was in total shutdown mode. And I just remember my mom opening the trailer door and screaming like, Dan, and like anyone, and like Ian, and no one came.
Wow.
For about 10 to 15 minutes.
And she was like screaming. They would have heard her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like a mom scream, like Mama Bear. Like it's like everyone, maybe in Mars they heard, she was so loud.
They were probably getting their story straight before they came and talked to you guys.
You're totally right. Because they're like, this is a liability.
Mm-hmm.
Liability.
And we have to protect Jamie.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And Brittany's gone. She left in the car. And so I just remember hearing the trailer kind of move and people were coming up the steps. And here comes Dan Schneider with his sunglasses. And he looks at me and I'll never forget this. He goes, now what?
Huh?
Yeah.
He said, now what? And how did you interpret that to mean at the time?
Everything's my fault.
Oh, he was like, he's like, now another thing with you kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I was
After
like.
15 minutes? What an asshole.
Uh-huh. Total asshole. And I just remember I wasn't able, for the first time ever, I'm a pretty talkative person. And I couldn't say anything. And I just remember looking at him and then my mom screaming at him and saying like, Alexa's not going back onto set. He goes, one moment. And he leaves the trailer. And he comes back 10 minutes later with one of those freaking, like those DVD players back in the day that were like those portable ones with the screen and then you would just put the DVD in.
Yeah.
He literally comes back with one of those and he's like, here. Like as if that was like the trade, as if that was going to make me. I remember holding the box.
He was giving it to you like, take this and shut up? The fuck?
It was so weird. And like the lamest gift also, like what the fuck is this? I remember looking at it just going, am I supposed to say thank you? And my mom was livid and she's like, I'm not putting my daughter on the set. And he goes, oh, yes, you are. Like, we have to get this last shot and contractually Alexa has to go back on set. And I remember just kind of looking at all the adults on the floor. I was on the floor. I remember just looking up at them and just, I didn't matter that much in that situation. And sure enough, I had to go back onto set, and there's even a clip that someone found. It made it into the edit where the girls literally pushed me
Huh?
and shoved me on camera. Yeah, it it went viral on TikTok actually.
Oh shit! I'm gonna
It
try
ended
to
up
find that.
in
You on
yeah,
that?
you guys should find it. It's wild. Like, and then someone like posted and was like, "Holy shit! Like, this is for real. Like, you can actually see it's happening while they're filming." And so I had to go back on set and get bullied more and humiliated more by everyone. And that was my last day on the set of Zoey 101.
And by quitting the show, did they like come after you financially, or were they a pain in the ass, or were they easy?
No, they were easy because I think they were really afraid of the liability on the other end. You know,
Right.
like technically there was child endangerment that happened. There was a lot of things that happened that weren't supposed to happen, you know, under their care. And so I think that's when they tried to hold on for a minute, I remember, and then they accepted. And I'll never forget. You want to know the punishment?
Go ahead.
They had to add one more like cherry on top of the sundae. They said, you know, we're letting Alexa go, but just tell her she is banned from every Kids' Choice Awards.
Oh no, not the Kids' Choice Awards. Still, that's so scummy. Like they're like, how do I hurt this kid more? No ice cream ever again.
Yeah, you're gonna stay in timeout forever. It was just like,
That's crazy.
what? Yeah, these were adults too.
Yeah.
These were adults saying shit like that. I'll never forget that. I went, okay. At the same time, I was like, I don't need to go to the Kids' Choice Awards again. Like, all right, but also, what a weird thing to add to the whole thing.
So, I guess fast forward to modern times. I think this was somewhat recently.
Yeah.
Brittney Spears actually took to Twitter to make a really beautiful apology to you, right? Which was actually wow, really incredible to read.
It was incredible to read for me as well. Honestly, it's the only apology I've ever gotten in Hollywood.
Wow.
Which is really sad to say, and also kind of remarkable and amazing that it was Brittney Spears,
Right.
who apologized. She mentioned me once and defended me, and I remember she said, you know, you lied, just like you lied about Alexa Nikolas, and that I remember reading that on Instagram and just being like, what is?
Jeez.
It was like healing all these wounds.
Hey guys, so
wounds.
Oh, sorry. I think I found the clip.
Did you?
I think so.
Are you watching
Okay.
Zoey 101, trying to see some evidence of Nicole
But I'm
being
trying to zoom in. Hold on. Let me see if I can get a closer look.
Get in there.
Kind of.
bullied on the show? Mind you, I 100% believe her. I'm just looking for some clues, so I want you guys to pay attention to Quinn and Victoria right here. Boom. And let's slow-mo this so you guys can see the hit in the head, and then you see Quinn push her arm even further. Like, why? Why? This girl was actually bullied on this show, y'all, and they want to reboot it. No.
Yeah, you can see my actual like real life, that wasn't acting, my reaction.
Hold on, I gotta watch this again. So which one?
You're watching Zoey
Which person are you
101,
here?
Trying to see some evidence
I'm
of
in the
Nicole
pink right there
being
next to
bullied
the
on
guy. So I'm like the brunette, not here, but not here, there.
Okay,
in
with the blue
pink
skirt.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And Victoria right here. Boom. And let's slow-mo this so you guys can see the hit in the head, and then you see Quinn push her arm even further. Like, why? Why? This girl was actually bullied on this show, y'all, and they want to
Who's the girl
reboot
that
it.
hit you?
Yeah, Erin Sanders. She played Quinn. She was just going along with the culture at the end. Like, I don't know what happened there, but I do remember that those last, couple of, I guess, like weeks, she was kind of feeling invited into the girl circle. And that's like what sucks about the culture there is everyone wanted to feel, you're a kid, you want to be seen, you want to be appreciated, you want to be loved. And so any of that was happening, kids were willing to not be the best versions of themselves just to receive being seen. And so that kind of happened there towards the end with Erin, but Erin wasn't really someone who participated much in the whole bullying with me. But towards the end, there was a little bit of that. And you can see I'm shocked. Like I turn around,
Yeah.
you know, I'm like, why are you hitting my, and that episode was the Britney Spears week.
Ooh.
And that was the last scene I think I ended up doing. And they would literally get the squirt guns and they were trying to get it in my eye and like laughing at me.
God, that's horrible, man.
Gnarly.
It's like being forced to be with your bullies. Like, I feel like we've all experienced bullying to some degree in school and just how bad it feels. You're being forced to spend all day with them.
All day. And also, like, you're getting paid. It's like a weird...
Right.
You know what I mean? As a kid, like, it's like you're getting paid and then you're having to deal with them. And you don't want to be seen as problematic. And you get told as a kid, if you speak up too much, you know, you might not work again.
Mm-hmm.
So you have these weird pressures that just, you know, I don't think you necessarily have in high school. It's a different type of pressure.
Yeah. Do you mind if I read this tweet from Brittney?
Yeah, sure.
So here, I'm just going to read it. It's not super long, but I thought it was really nice. This
Me
is
too.
after her falling out with her family.
Yes.
So she's like, oh, my sister's like not the best. Her sister kind of sucks. And I think it was probably, well, she talks about it in the letter. Here, I'll just read it.
Mm-hmm.
It broke my heart to see your interview about your experience in the business. Hollywood is a place of dreams, but let's be honest. On rare occasions, do people come out years later and share the dark side? There are thousands of people with broken dreams, and I am absolutely in awe of you raising awareness for the next generation on how to be protected. The one thing you said you wish you could have told your younger self is that you wish you could have known you could have just walked away. I find that really an interesting insight there.
Mm-hmm.
You would have left sooner. That's like you're looking back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Countless times I did the same thing and I took the abuse. It's nice to know I'm not the only one who has felt that way. I know it's 15 years later what you are sharing, but trust me, I know it still matters. Although I have apologized to you personally just by instinct, my heart at the time didn't know how incredibly good my family was at the acting language. Just imagine me visiting my little sister on set, last day of shooting, bringing sprinkle cupcakes, 9 months pregnant, hormone raging like hell, and the assistant director, Ian, witnesses Jamie Lynn running to me, placing her hands on my knees while I'm sitting down, her sobbing, telling me that she's just been bullied on set. The assistant director and my mom, included in the room, were just silent. My sister was literally like my daughter growing up, so I apologize for my ignorance for yelling at you when I obviously had no idea what was really going on. Jesus Christ, I was pregnant, and let's be honest, all these moms and dads, the watchful white owls who hide behind the scenes observing their children's stars, referring to my mother who should have immediately stepped in and took over the situation. And I told my 9-month pregnant self to sit down, relax, and have a sprinkle cupcake. They should have treated me like a guest because that's exactly what I was. It's always been extremely interesting, the situations my family's put me in to make me embarrassed. I know you have probably heard what happened to me 3 years ago. I wrote 3 different versions of a book, and since then, honestly, it's been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And if you haven't heard already, it's become a joke because TMZ says I'm running out of paper. I'm also sure they get a good laugh at seeing me on my Instagram. What was done to me is frankly beyond all. The way you spoke gave me strength and inspiration. I do write you this message today because I am sorry for ever hurting your feelings. You should tell Nickelodeon to kiss your ass. I get the feeling that Brittney did understand when she said, I know it was 15 years ago, but I know it still matters. And that probably rang true for you, right?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Because especially as a survivor of, essay, not even the bully stuff, a lot of the time you get backlash of this happens, X amount of time. Like Justin Long loved to remind me, how many decades ago it was. And I think survivors get that a lot, and when you're a sensitive person, you get that a lot. Like, why this was so long ago? Why does this matter to you? Move on, basically. So to hear someone understand that, your feelings are valid, it's okay that it still hurts. And it's okay that there's still a wound there. I think all of us deserve to hear that. Like, all of our feelings of sadness honestly should be validated in some way. So that was big for me. That was like, I never expected that.
Right.
And it made me feel very good.
Very validating. Because I'm sure there's probably a lot of people who are like, oh, she's lying about everything.
Yes. Oh, that happens. That happens a lot with me. That's what Marty Singer, whatever, Jonah Hill's lawyer, you're a serial accuser.
Right. I remember he said that about you. Although
Yeah, it's like, well,
Brittney Spears statement gives like, yo, that should happen.
Yeah.
That was really
It was
good
very-
that she did that. Was that a healing moment for you?
It was very healing for me. I cry even when you were reading it now because it feels very good. It feels very good. I would hope that my kids, got to experience that from someone that bullied them, because it's intense when someone bullies
It's
you.
Britney
It's
Spears
like-
too.
Yes. Yeah. And I think we both have seen some dark sides of our industry. And I think she's also commendable because she's also spoken out in ways that has inspired me to do the things that I'm doing. Like with E-Predators, honestly, a lot of that strength came from reading a lot of Britney Spears, Instagram captions about how she was going up against a lot of these powerful institutions that were representing her at the time, like TriStar, et cetera. I was like, whoa, I've never seen that before, especially a woman, So you're like, damn.
Have you
I
guys
can
ever
maybe do that
connected?
too. She DM'd me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That'd be
she
nice.
first DM'd me personally before she did it publicly.
That's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. And I was fine with that.
Mhm.
I didn't share it, obviously, with any, I didn't put it anywhere. I just loved that she did that. And then about a month later is when she then made it public.
That's great. That's really good. She did that.
Yeah, it's a nice happy.
Yeah, it is.
There's one happy ending in Hollywood.
Yeah. So I guess you mentioned Jason Long, who is
Justin Long.
Or Justin Long. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Because I recognize the name. Is this guy? This is the fucking guy. And now that I'm gonna transition a bit to the Jonah Hill anecdote you shared.
Okay.
So you were partying, and how old were you at the time that this happened?
Dude, honestly, I don't know if I was 16 yet.
So
I might have been 15 turning 16.
Okay, so were you working on Zoey, or was this after?
No, this was after.
And so were you still trying to work? Were you still trying to be
I was
an actor?
working.
You were working.
I was working nonstop. I was doing like a more drama, like, cold cases and CSIs and shows like that.
So they did not, in fact, make sure you never worked again.
I worked again. No, Brittney didn't end up canceling me.
Well, it sounded
She
like
didn't.
Yeah, it sounded like some of the producers wanted to, though.
They did. And I ended up getting a little bit canceled later. It's a little bit harder for me now to put a foot into the industry after a lot of my advocacy work, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that for some.
Yeah.
So
Okay, it's worth it.
So, of course, you're doing the right thing. What's better than that?
Yeah. Nothing.
Being rich, famous. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it would be nice to get paid for, doing the good things.
yeah, it would be nice, huh?
Right?
So you're at Justin Long's house. You're friends with him? Yes. How did you end up over at his house?
That was the first time. Okay, so I was actually filming my show last night. I have this show coming out called like E-Predators Daily, and I was explaining a little bit of the story. But basically what happened was I was hanging out with my friend. I'm not going to disclose her name, obviously, for privacy reasons. She had a nice BMW Z3 convertible, and we were driving on Outpost. And I remember she wanted to go and hang out with the tool bag predator from CSI Miami, Jonathan Togo or something. I don't know what the hell his name is. But anyways, she was hooking up with this guy.
So who's this guy? So
that guy.
Because
that was Justin's roommate.
Okay. And what was he doing at the time? The CSI stuff?
No, yeah, he was doing CSI Miami.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I ended up being on. I'll say a bit of that interaction afterwards. But anyways, she was seeing him at the time, but she was underage, and I think he was almost 30. So that was
Yes. Wait, how old is he?
I don't know. I think he was I think Justin was around his mid-20s when we were there.
He's 45 now, so yeah, that tracks.
Wow. Yeah. So they were a lot older.
So he was,
back
a
then,
lot older.
A lot older. And so she was seeing him, I think she was 16 or 17.
Justin is also 45 now. So they were these are men, grown-ass men.
They were grown-ass men.
As you were telling that story, I was imagining you guys were kind of contemporaries, but that's not the case.
not at all. I was like 15 turning 16, and then they were all like, living in a duplex in LA and like had established careers.
Okay.
And so so I remember we were on the way to his place and she was like, they're inviting you over. And while she was like on the phone with them or something, we ended up getting a flat tire on Outpost. And we had to pull over and we didn't think we were going to be able to go. And you know what the dudes the bros ended up telling us? They were like, you can make it down the hill. It's only like 15 minutes down the hill.
Just cruise down in neutral?
It was like
That's
literally
awesome. That's chivalry.
They didn't even offer to come.
That's
and
the best.
Help us out. I don't mean to laugh, but it's just like, wow, looking back at that, it's fucked up. So anyways, they were like, you can make it. And so we like made it, dude. We went.
Oh, you did? You cruised down in neutral?
5 miles.
Okay,
per
that's
hour.
badass.
5 miles per hour to get to this place. And to Justin Longdong's place. And I'm like,
Longdong.
And I was like, okay. So we're driving, it's like 5 miles per hour down Outpost. And I just hear the rim starting. I remember the rim was like hitting the ground, and you're like, is this worth it? Like, is this worth it? It really wasn't worth it. But we get to the bottom of the hill. We finally get to the place and we arrive and nobody was there yet. It was actually just Justin and this Togo dude. And I remember she went into the bedroom with Togo and I was left in the living room with Justin.
And so you're saying that this 30-year-old dude Togo was having a sexual relationship with your underage friend?
Which is sexual assault.
And it's statutory rape as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah. Oh,
why
and
would
Justin's
they do
just
that?
There. That was you have no idea
it's just
how
like,
hyper.
why would you even do that? Like, you can have sex with of-age girls. Why would you do
consensual.
that? Yeah,
Wait, you guys
age consensual. Yeah, it's like, why? Golly.
You should hear the Punked episode where Justin's literally ordering a drink for maybe a girl who's underage, and he's like, "Yeah, she's of age, consensual." It's like, bro, you're not getting accused of anything. He said that on camera. It's like, bro, you're not getting accused of anything.
That's
you're
badass.
Literally, it's ridiculous. Anyways, so I'm like in the living room. I'm talking to this guy. I remember he puts a vinyl on. He's that kind of guy in LA, which is fine. There's a lot of guys in LA. And so he puts on the vinyl, and I remember he asked me if I wanted a drink. I said yes. Now we're starting to drink. We're talking. Drinks go by, and then people started to arrive, a couple of people. And one of them was Jonah.
No, you're a 15-year-old drinking. Have you drank before? This is something you're used to doing?
I drank. Like, I would sneak out sometimes to my mom's. Like, I think that night, actually, like, my mom thought I was sleeping over at, a friend's house. But really, I was out, and living in LA, when you sneak out, you can sneak out into some serious trouble without your parents knowing. And so a lot of people like to blame my mom, but like my mom really didn't know. I was like a teenager in Los Angeles with access to getting into bars and clubs, at that time. It was a really different, anyways, that was LA in like whatever, 2008.
Okay.
All the bars would let me in.
Wow.
It's crazy. They never
that
ID'd
is crazy.
me. Never ID'd me. So
Dude, that's
anyways, Jonah comes in. I remember he starts like smoking weed, like rolling a joint or something. And I'm sitting there. I know kind of who he is. I honestly didn't know him that well because I think it was just Superbad. This is like very early.
This is right after Superbad, Jonah Hill?
I think
so.
Okay. When did that come out? Like, it must have been around the same time.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like it was.
Superbad came out 2007.
Okay, so yeah, it was like a year after.
So that movie was a big deal. I mean, I remember seeing that and thinking Jonah Hill was awesome after that.
Totally.
After that came out, yeah.
He was like kind of the it kid during that time, like accepted.
Yes.
And
by the way, I pulled this clip of Justin getting the drink for the underage girl.
Get the of age consensual in there.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'll try that.
You guys are all of age, right?
Of age, yes.
Yeah.
Consensual.
Him too?
Of age, consensual. Why did you say that, you weird little fucker? Of age, consensual. Yo, what the fuck does that mean, bro? Hold on, one more time.
And cranberry. Okay.
Dude, that's kind of insane that they set him up to like commit a crime.
They did, and also
They're like, yo,
it
will
was
he
normal.
buy these underage girls alcohol? Was that the experiment?
He will. Yeah, he will, and he did.
Oh, dude, that's cutthroat.
Yeah, he did it.
Will Justin have sex with this underage girl?
Dude, Jonah's right next to him in this.
I gotta hear this one more time.
I'll just get one of these Asian pear things.
Oh, hold on.
Okay. I'll just get a Grey Goose and some drinks right now.
Wait, was that Jonah next to him?
Yeah.
Yes, that's Jonah.
Oh.
Yeah, you see what's going on here?
He's under a bad influence. I hate to say it.
There's
He's
a lot
getting
of
the Justin Schlong Hollywood handbook.
Sorry.
Can I start you guys off with some drinks right now? Sounds good. I'll just get a Grey Goose and cranberry. Okay. Do you know you want?
I'll just get one of these.
Did I miss it again? Damn it.
I think so. Wait, no, I feel like it's it's after this.
It's really weird.
Oh.
It's after this.
Sorry.
Okay, whatever. Oh wait, I have the timestamp. Let me just pull that one up again because I don't want to get claimed, so I'm trying to show as little as possible.
You guys are having drinks, so. Ladies, can I have your
Oh, this is another timestamp.
This is another timestamp.
Oh, they come to
you
ID.
should listen.
Yo,
You should listen to this part.
alone though shows you how different the world is now, how we
That's what I
perceive this
said.
stuff. Like at the time, this was just a funny joke. Right. He was trying to get these young girls drunk. Like, haha.
Yeah, even like films, like Superbad, that was the whole narrative. Like, we're gonna get these girls drunk enough to sleep with us, and like that was it.
But this is real life.
But this is real life.
This
I
is
know.
him in real life trying to get young girls drunk,
Yeah.
and it's like just a silly joke, like how we're pranking you.
And I was one of those girls.
Wow,
Real
you were
life.
one of those girls in real life. All right, this is nuts.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I forgot my.
They're 21, but let's just say hypothetically they don't have IDs. You will pay for the
Is this? Are you for real, brother?
Let's just say hypothetically they don't have IDs. What? Bro.
So did that work back then? Hey, brother, look the other way, huh?
Yeah, totally.
They're 15, so what?
And then we'll leave, and then we don't have to worry about it.
That doesn't work for me. Okay. And ladies, how old are you?
Dude, he tells them to say 21.
Okay, so 18. How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, Sarah, do me a favor. I want you to go back there. I want you to get out of here. Now, I want you to get out of here.
That's nuts. The premise of this prank is blowing my mind.
Dude, and I didn't know about this. So this got sent to me the day after I tweeted. All of a sudden, this video resurfaced. And I was watching and I'm like, this is how deep the patriarchy was reigning
Right.
during this time.
Right.
You know, like that got approved by a network. That was a ha-ha funny.
And even the crazy part is even Justin Long was like, that's funny. You can put that out.
Totally. Totally. And it's them together.
Nobody
What are the odds, too? It's like,
Very
it
true.
was kind of breaking my brain.
Very true.
It broke my brain.
My favorite Ashton Kutcher prank was when he tried to convince his good friends to go to Jeffrey Epstein's island.
No.
No, I'm kidding. But like that, we're gonna get on a flight with my friend Epstein. They call it the Lolita Express. You guys want to go?
Stop.
Everyone's like, yeah, dude, I know about him.
Dude, who were the celebrities?
Who would they be? Justin Long.
Who would they be? Yeah, Justin
Justin Long. Justin Schlong.
Justin Long Dong. Yeah. He so you kind of know what I'm dealing with now at this point.
Very much.
Okay. So that's where I'm at. She, eventually comes out. We all start drinking. They even make some kind of jokes about our age. I remember Jonah at one point being like, "Can you even drink this?" Like, and he was like pulling it away and then like put it back to me. And so it was like a joke that we were underage.
They knew. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Clearly,
definitely.
he was sitting like they can't even deny it after that clip.
No, you can't.
He was just sitting with
Yes.
girls in a public setting and trying to get them alcohol.
I mean, hypothetically.
Hypothetically, of course.
Just hypothetically.
Dude, she never got the alcohol. What do you want?
Just hypothetically. So yeah. So anyways, hypothetically, I was there, drinking with them, and they're making jokes. And then at one point, I wanted a cigarette. And I didn't obviously have one because I couldn't buy one legally. So Jonah ends up saying, I have cigs, like, but they're in my car. And I was like, okay. And I thought he was gonna go and get it. And he was like, I don't really want to go all alone, if you know what I mean. Like, come with me. And I remember just being like, all right, whatever. Like, I don't think anything weird. What could possibly fucking happen, between here and the Prius. With Jonah Hill. And so we went downstairs, see his Prius. The American Spirits, I remember, were in the front seat. And he grabbed them. And then we were walking, like, awkwardly back to the door. And I remember saying, like, hey, can I have one? Because we're outside. And he didn't say anything. He just, like, slams me across the door. I'll never forget it. Because you don't forget these things. He like slammed me across the door, and he just put his tongue like right in my mouth, and it was like I just remember it moving around. It was like really intense, and I just remember being like startled and kind of just grossed out. And I tried to like push him away, and I did actually. He did end up backing away, and I remember turning around and like running upstairs. And the guy who I first found up there was ironically, weirdly, was the emo dude from Wedding Crashers. I loved that movie at the time, so I remembered him. And I remember just having a conversation with him, just kind of like, I think he was married at the time. I think even his wife was there. They were like the only people. That's just where things started getting fuzzy. Like, obviously I was drinking, but I remember him, and I think his wife was there, and it was Justin, and it was Jonah, and it was Togo, and it was my underage friend. And that was a story that I honestly, my husband knows this story. It was like a story I told a lot of people, honestly. And it throughout time, like when you're a survivor, you start putting them kind of on like a list of most traumatic, least traumatic, when you're going to therapy, you have all these things, but they're starting to create like an order to things. And Jonah was just one that I just never thought I was ever going to tell that story publicly. Honestly, it wasn't something that I felt the need to really go out and tell the world that story. But when I woke up to Sarah's brave screen captures of the experience that she had with him, it immediately triggered me. And when you get triggered a little bit, it's a little bit impulsive, and I got triggered, and I was like, I know that no one else is coming forward about anything about him right now, and I wanted to do that to like support her. And I didn't even know if anyone was going to see it. Honestly, I really did not think anyone was going to notice. It was going to get buried, I thought, in all the tweets and about him and boundaries.
How did you process that at the time when he did that to you? Was that kind of a normal thing for you to happen, or was that even out of the ordinary?
Honestly, man, like I've been assaulted so many times in the industry, it's sad. So it was pretty normal. It was pretty normal, but it definitely stood out in my brain, and I remember being angry and like emotionally, like I felt like a boundary was crossed. To speak Jonah's language, a boundary felt like it was crossed. And that's how I felt. I wasn't, you don't call the cops. Like, it wasn't that kind of era. First of all, like they would be like, why the fuck are you out at 15? And like, then your mom's going to be super upset. It was just, you're a teenager. So you're just put into a situation where the only thing to do is just quickly process it. And then, you end up really processing it as an adult in therapy later on, which is what's been happening to me now in my 30s.
Did you guys talk at all after that at the party, or?
No, I stayed away. I did not like him. Yeah, I didn't like that. He didn't apologize to me. And that was also just pretty upsetting. He didn't say anything about anything else that he was accused of. And then he gets Marty Singer. Dude, if you're going to choose any lawyer to defend you, just don't have it be the guy who defended like Danny Masterson or whatever his name
Marty
is.
Singer.
Yeah.
That's so funny that you mentioned his name. I won't say why.
Yeah, he
I
gets
probably
around.
shouldn't. Or maybe I should.
Yeah, maybe you
who
should.
cares?
Who cares?
But I don't want to be wrong here. Let me make sure.
Yeah, be right.
Okay,
Is
here, let
Marty
me get this right.
otherwise?
Marty Singer, Colleen Ballinger.
No, it's his friend. They work
Andrew
together
Brettler is
sometimes.
Colleen.
Oh, and so wait, okay, Andrew Brettler. Brettler?
Yes.
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 So these guys, okay, because I thought that Andrew Brettler reps some of those people you mentioned.
He does. And
They're
if
partners?
you Google Marty Singer and Andrew, whatever the hell his last name is, you'll see photos of them together.
Marty Singer and Andrew Brettler.
Oh yeah, they're quite the
Named-
duo.
Named to Hollywood Reporter's Power Lawyer list.
It's giving the Harvey Weinstein, Kavanaugh pick. That is
Okay,
so what it's
listen,
giving.
listen. Everybody needs a lawyer. You know what I mean? I as a profession, you know, lawyers are scumbags. They're all scumbags. The good ones and the bad ones. What do you want?
Agreed. But my grandpa went to Harvard and he was a lawyer. And I'll never forget what he said. He said he was a criminal lawyer, criminal defense lawyer. And he said, I'll represent anyone but a rapist.
Interesting.
And I'll never forget that he said that. So there is a choice.
He had a
you know,
line.
he had a line. He had
And
he had a line.
Now, I think you could say hypothetically about Andrew Brettler and Marty Singer.
Yeah.
That hypothetically, they don't have that line.
They do not.
But I don't know that for sure because I don't know the guilt or innocence of his clients and stuff. But certainly some of his clients are accused of that.
Well, Danny was convicted, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
so then they do defend rapists
They do.
because he was convicted. He went to jail.
Correct.
So I think it is
Exactly.
fair to say that Andrew Brettler and Marty Singer defend rapists.
Correct. Yeah, I would agree with you. I'm not going to debate on that.
Let me just make sure. Andrew.
Allegedly.
What was his name?
Allegedly, hypothetically.
What was the guy's name from the Scientology rapist guy from the 90s?
Danny Masterson.
Yeah, Danny Masterson. Mr. Rapey.
Oh, that's
Danny Raperson.
Danny Raperson. Yeah, that's his real name, legal name.
That's his government, yeah.
Yeah, that's on his ID now.
Let's see. Okay, so her attorney is Andrew Brettler. So I don't know if Marty Singer. Now I wonder, does Marty Singer have any affiliation with Brian Singer? Are they brothers?
Oh my God! You know what?
Because they have the same last name.
Circle. They're all in the same circle, dude. They're all in the same circle. I wouldn't be surprised if
Brian
they were
Singer
related.
and Marty Singer. Are they? Because I just want to get my facts straight.
I feel like their streams have crossed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. This is all very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
It's a small
allegedly,
circle.
and I'll say this: I don't know nothing about nobody.
Yeah, neither do
Those
I.
lawyers, I don't know nothing about them.
Yeah.
Brian Singer, never met the guy, never read anything about him.
Mm.
So everything I'm saying right now is comedy, it's parody, and
Satire.
also I don't know anything about anything. I literally am the dumbest person alive. I'm a goldfish.
Good call.
You're a goldfish?
I have no memory. I have no thoughts. I don't know anything about anybody. Nobody takes what I say seriously.
You're an impressive goldfish. I didn't realize I was having a conversation with a goldfish this entire time.
What?
Oh, is this Dory?
Say it again. Yeah. By the way, this is not real, right, Cam? You're fucking with me?
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's a parody image.
Yo,
I
was
don't
that?
know. I'm a goldfish.
This
we're
is not
all
a real image. I
goldfish.
think we need to say that.
This is not a real image.
Yeah, that's a Photoshop.
It's two real
Parody.
images.
Yeah,
Photoshopped together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't really look that Photoshop to me. Okay. I wouldn't have been that shocked by that photo if it was
It
real.
would be good. So so Jonah Hill.
Yeah, Marty Singer.
Yeah, you're coming out really, I feel like, gave a lot of weight to his ex-girlfriend's original account.
Yeah, because what I saw there first of all, that was really awesome what she did there, just because I've been emotionally abused in relationships before, but I'll put like the really, really bad physical assaults or, the sexual abuse, obviously in my brain more ahead of the emotional abuse. And like the emotional abuse isn't something that I necessarily I don't know, put a lot of weight to sometimes. And when I saw her put weight to it and want to like it to be validated, that really put a lot into perspective for me personally. And I thought that was pretty badass that she did that, because when I was reading those text messages, what maybe people don't understand if you're like not a survivor of an abuser is that when he was giving those boundaries, that power dynamic, first of all, I think they're like 10 years apart or whatever. So there's already like an age difference there. But also, you love this individual. Your brain chemistry is all like oxytocined out. And you have this person basically telling you that all the things that make you you, he doesn't like those about you.
Right.
And
she was that person when he met her.
Right. And so all of a sudden you start to be like, are these things not lovable about me? Should I change, these things? So when she came forward, what I saw as a survivor was, I think when we come forward as survivors, we're looking for validation because we've been so gaslit that we want to hear, like, can you please tell me if I'm wrong or right? I don't know anymore. That's how it fucks with your head so deeply that people don't realize that. Like, a lot of survivors subconsciously are coming forward, I believe, because they just need to know what's happening to them or what happened to them. And that's why we go to therapy, like you go to therapy to like understand what happened to you pretty much, or to process it. And I think coming forward is a very similar experience. It's just not in a room with one individual. It's a lot more intense. But you want the validation, basically. And so I saw her wanting that validation. And I know what that feels like because I've come forward before, and it's scary.
Yeah.
And especially when you're a female, people are like...
Get someone rich and famous.
Yeah.
It's not
and then you got
easy.
all these bot bros, like bots, that just go to town on you, and make, give you death threats, etc.
Right.
I know how it goes.
So can I ask you something?
Yeah.
A lot of people I saw online saying this, and I can't lie, this was my first reaction, although I've totally come around. That's not how I feel now.
Okay.
But reading the text message, a lot of people saw that and said, yes, he's a douche, but he's setting his boundaries and expectations very clear. And so if she can't reach, so how is it abuse if he's saying these are my expectations, and if you can't reach that, then let's just break up?
Because it's very manipulative, because you don't know what all the experiences that have led up to now this list of boundaries. Most likely he's been doing other tactics that have messed with her sanity, to be quite honest with you. From what I read, they were also going to couples therapy. There was already this going on.
Actually, one other thing I read that really made me turn on him, their therapist was his like best friend that he was like doing a project with. I think he was working with a therapist who was like his best buddy. It was like so fucked up in that sense. Can you fact check that, somebody? I know I read something about that.
Yeah. Well, see, there's also, my abuser did to me too. And it ended up backfiring on him, actually. He tried to get me into therapy. Every time I tried to leave him, I was crazy. And I was, my self-worth was very low. I didn't want real love. And so he put me in therapy, and the therapist ended up being like, you got to leave.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's how I got out of there.
Good for them.
That's how I escaped. So it worked out. But anyways, if it's not that, like the mediation experience, though, that happened in my divorce was the opposite of that. It was basically like a Sarah Brady situation where it wasn't neutral, and a lot of bad things ended up happening to me in that mediation because no one was looking out for my best interest. So I believe that, like, that's pretty scary. But the thing is, like, you don't know what was happening around that conversation and what led up to that list of boundaries. To me, when I read that, I didn't really see a man saying he's crazy or taking any type of accountability. I saw him kind of putting her down and putting him up. Like, this is what I want to know. This is the kind of woman I need and what I want. And you just don't measure up. So if you're not going to measure up, then you can't have me. That's like how I felt it. And I've felt that before by abusive men, is that they use these you almost don't even catch it Like it's so smooth almost. But if you reread it a few times, you'll be like, oh, he's putting her down.
Mm-hmm.
He's putting her down and he's putting him up. Like I don't really like a woman who like surfs with men. And like I'm pretty chill. Like I have my shit together. So, and you're just like, ugh.
It's like okay. So I mean, yeah, the text is just the tip of the iceberg in terms
Correct.
of everything
Correct.
else that's going on.
Correct. I just think that was a symptom that was just part of many other things that were obviously going on behind closed doors with them, you know, or in conversations. And I mean, she obviously felt very charged to, you know, release those messages. And so most of the time when that happens, like that person's really asking for the world to validate that, you know, they're not crazy. Because that's what abusers really make you feel like. I mean, it took me a lot, many, I had to process my abuse during my first pregnancy, and it was really rough. You know, like you just, even there's some days I sometimes wake up, is that how it, you know, it's so fucked, honestly. Like it takes a lot of willpower to really get yourself out of the manipulation that's very subtle and slowly happens over a period of time.
So I'm seeing here that Jonah Hill made a documentary with his therapist about some like specific type of therapy they developed, which sounds like super pseudo-sciencey, like lame shit. And I think that it was the same therapist they were doing couples counseling with, but I don't know if it was. Yeah, I don't know if it was. So don't quote me on that. Also, allegedly, I don't know nothing. I'm a goldfish.
I'm going to start saying I'm a goldfish.
I don't
Do you
know
think they'll
anything.
believe that?
I think it might play well. I think it might play well with the judge.
Do you think a woman could get away with the goldfish thing? I don't know.
So I want to, I guess, let's see. Brady's text also mentions separate couples therapist.
So it was a different one according to the text.
Okay, it was a different one. Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm sure it was recommended though by this guy.
Although his therapist is like his best homie, who's probably just validating all of his psychotic tendencies.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I wanted to ask you about one other person that you had mentioned on social media recently, Seth MacFarlane of Family Guy fame.
Yeah. I'm not ready. I'm like can't do it now. But,
okay, fair enough.
But I meant what I said. You know, I definitely meant what I said. And I said things earlier too that nobody really listened to. Like, I don't know, November of last year.
What did you? Are you comfortable repeating what you already said, or I mean, you don't? I'm not going to pressure you at all. We can move right past it.
Yeah, no, it's already on. It's on Twitter. I don't even know if I deleted all of them per se, but I was like pretty triggered. And you know, all I gotta say is like just know or look into, you know, how many rape jokes that guy wrote over there as well. Like if you think Punk'd makes those guys, you know, look like whatever, like definitely check out Family Guy's rape jokes.
Wow.
There's
a lot of them.
There are a lot of them, and he plays the voice of one of them, of what, you know, Quagmire. And
right.
Yeah.
Who is there a super funny, actual, just like straight up, like racist, sexual, or not racist, I mean rapist, sexual, a predator, Quagmire.
Yeah, predator.
It is. I always thought it was odd how they portray Quagmire. It's like, this dude is like a rapist.
Yeah. Yeah, he even admits at one point. I'm pretty positive there's an episode where he's like, "I'm a rapist" to Peter or whatever.
So I don't. So the Zoey 101 reunion is happening tomorrow, and as I understand, you weren't invited to that.
No.
Did you find that
Neither was
odd?
Dan though. No, neither was Dan though. So...
Well, that makes more sense to me. That they can't find him. They couldn't even find him to get. You know what I mean?
No, he's in Thailand. He's in Thailand. No, I wasn't invited. Actually, I'm airing my E Predators daily show tomorrow, talking a little bit about it. Like, that's a good day to air this while I'm about to give birth. I'll just like do it on the same day that I was once again uninvited. But it's okay.
Did it surprise you that you weren't invited?
It more surprised me when they had a reunion. Like I thought maybe when we were getting close to 30 that we've like moved past some of this.
Right.
And that was more shocking to me. Like the reboot, whatever. But this is, I don't know if I mentioned this part, but what was really messed up was I came forward once again about them basically bullying me throughout the entire show. And right after they did the whole reunion thing, Jamie ends up reaching out to me with this fake apology. And I was like, I think I was 7 months pregnant around that time with Nova. And she sends me this long thing. And then at the end of it, she wants something from me, of course. So it was like this apology, like, oh, let bygones be bygones. And then at the end, it said, will you be in my music video? This
What?
like
Why would
Zoey.
she want? That's crazy.
Yeah. It was very weird. And I obviously was like, no, I said it nicely though. I was like, thank you so much for inviting me. But no, like I'm going into like birth soon. I'm going on my baby moon or whatever. And I just made up a bunch of like real excuses, but also excuses to not be a part of that. And fast forward, I thought everything was chill, to be honest with you. I just thought, okay, Jamie finally, at least she did apologize, even if it wasn't totally genuine. At least I got a text message from her and I'll take it. And then a few months later, she messages me, and this is right around the time Brittney came forward her testimony about what she went through. And I remember being like, oh my God, Jamie Lynn Spears is, you know, I was like, oh my God, she's still like this. And I was trying to process it. And then she texted me and said, can I send you something? And I was like, I don't want you to know where I live. I'm kidding. But like a little bit, I was like, I don't want to give you my address. And I don't know what you're sending me. Why don't you tell me what you're sending me? And then the next day, I find out that Jamie's book is about to get released. And I'm like, was she trying to send me her freaking book? And I was like, wait, what the hell? And then I get all these messages. The book leaked, and she just told mad lies about me in the book that she was trying to send to me.
Was it like defamatory
allegedly.
shit? What did she say about you?
She basically did the whole Darvo effect thing where she like just turned everything as if it was me bullying her on set. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Do you ever consider taking action or something?
No, I'm so exhausted with these people. There's only so much action I could do. Even right now, I'm doing action at 9 months pregnant, and like maybe some doctors wouldn't recommend it.
Well, the good news is I don't think anybody read that book.
No, I don't think so. And the ones that did, it leaked.
Yeah, nobody wanted it. Nobody read it.
No, but I did get told. So that's when I came forward about even more so. I was like, Jamie, what the hell is this? Like, were you trying to send me and I would have appreciated if she just told me also like, hey, I wrote this book and this is how I feel. Like, can we hash some things out? Like, this is my memory. Can we talk about I would have loved an actual conversation, like what normal people do, you know? But instead it was her just sending me, allegedly, hypothetically maybe, this book that had all these lies about me in it.
That is very interesting.
It was so sad.
Yeah, very.
It was so
She's
sad.
a nobody now, I'm pretty sure, right? She's just the girl that tried to steal her sister's money. Isn't that right?
Right, and she has her Paramount Plus show that comes
She
out
does?
tomorrow. The Zoey
It's a
102.
movie.
Wait, they're
Zoey
making a
102.
new one?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the world has no new ideas.
Did nobody ask for Zoey? Well, by the way, I looked up how many seasons of Zoey 101 there were. There's only 4 seasons. So
Yeah.
you were like a main star for 2 of those 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So
But apparently it wasn't enough.
excluding you from the reunion seems pretty intentional.
Definitely. It's okay though. It's okay because, you know, honestly, I've learned like I don't really want to be near, you know, if you're not going to value me as a person, like I don't need to be, you know, hanging. It's okay. Like I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't want to hang out with you, you know, so it's fair now. We both don't want to hang out with each other at least.
Wait, the show, there was only 4 seasons because Jamie got pregnant when she was 16?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No comment.
Allegedly. Jamie denies that.
And who's the father? Dan Schneider. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
There's that whole
Jamie
God,
denies her firstborn.
There's a lot of rumors. There's like fake conspiracy theories all about that. Of course, because the
16.
internet.
That's pretty young. Holy smokes.
Yeah, it was pretty. That's a big experience for a 16-year-old. I mean, for me, even at 27, it was a big experience.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine doing that at 16. Like, that's just.
So there's something else. What was the other thing? So Zoey 102? That's fucking weird. Oh, yeah. Here's something I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah,
you were
you're
in
smart.
TipToes. You were in the movie TipToes?
You fucking know TipToes, dude?
Dude, that movie is legendary.
Wait, stop
In
it.
the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman. They thought he was
Dude,
going to
you
win
know
an Academy Award for that.
Yo, Gary Oldman literally walked on his knees.
I know.
for
I
every
could
single
tell
scene.
from watching it that he was just on his knees with like a shoe glued to him. And they said it was a role of a lifetime in the trailer. Play it, Zach.
And in the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
They were
I did
trying
not
to
say that.
Yes, that's from the trailer. They're Oscar baiting. Wait, what was your role in TipToes?
Wait.
One more time,
What?
Zach.
I've never seen that. There's a
It's amazing.
And in the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman.
Did the trailer get claimed? I don't remember. I think it may have.
I think it did. I could test it.
Can you believe they're still fucking claiming the TipToes trailer of all goddamn things?
Wait, they're not claiming it, are they?
You go and after we're done, I'll send one of us will send you the link. The trailer is legendary. Legendary.
Okay, you have to send that to me because honestly, that was one of the most wild sets I've ever worked on. Also, what happened to Matthew McConaughey? Have you seen him lately?
What, he got real skinny? What?
No, dude, he's like started a cult.
Oh yeah, the money. He's doing like a get rich quick thing with what's his name?
Tom Robbins.
Tony Robbins, who's another scumbag.
Yeah. What the hell? It's art of living.
Dude, I
He
saw.
calls it.
Actually, they posted a live stream on YouTube and then they removed it, and I was really disappointed because it was gold. But
Wait,
yeah,
why did they remove it? That sucks.
I don't know why.
He was actually nice. He was nice on
That's good.
TipToes. He was. You know who wasn't really that nice though?
Who?
Gary Oldman wasn't that nice.
Gary Oldman. Well, it was a role of a lifetime. He was he was focusing hard. He was in character, you know.
He was method.
Yeah,
He
method
was
as fuck.
he
He
was
went
method as
home at
fuck.
night. He walked around on his knees. It's absolutely I can't believe that movie ever got made. I mean, it was shocking.
Gary Oldman.
Matthew Bright.
Yeah,
Matthew Bright.
To
directed
anyone who
that.
doesn't know, Matthew McConaughey has a dark secret that he hasn't told his new girlfriend. What is the dark secret? That his whole family is little people. Oh, well, they say in the movie they call them midgets, which I know I'm not supposed to say, but like I feel like you guys need to know that. And
Most ridiculous film. It makes no sense.
Here's Gary Oldman on his knees pretending to be a little person.
And in the role of a lifetime.
And then here's the best part. His girlfriend, she gets pissed that his whole family is little people and she didn't tell him. And then he's got to go meet his crazy family. They're all little people. And it's just so wacky. This is the craziest premise for a movie of all time. And you were there. You were there.
I was there. I was there. I did it.
So
I actually
what
did
was
it.
your role? What was your role? Were you what character were you?
I don't know, man, what
don't
I
remember?
was. No, I do remember I was Matthew McConaughey's cousin.
Were you one of the little people?
They never confirmed nor denied that.
You were a little person at TipToes. You were one of the little people.
I was pretty little.
Wait, how old were you at the time?
I think I was like 6 or.
Okay, you were 6.
I was little. Literally.
So you were a little person technically.
I was technically a little person. I was really legit a little person.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's
no,
amazing.
I can't believe you know TipToes.
I do. I know all about
Isn't that an incredible
TipToes.
title? It's an incredible
Oh yeah,
title.
because he's tiptoeing around the dark secret that his family is little people, and also they tiptoe because they're little and they want to appear bigger, taller. It's a
More
double
like
meaning.
His knees. Gary Oldman's knees were tiptoeing.
Dude, he's awesome. Here,
I
by the
love
way, since you mentioned dear Matthew McConaughey, I'm gonna pull this up.
So
yes,
my son was headed off to camp, and before he went, he shared a really cool thing with me. I said, hey, what are you hoping to get from this? And he said, Papa, I just want to.
Papa. He didn't say that, did he? Papa. He didn't say it like that, did he?
Hoping to get from this. And he said, Papa, I just want to meet new people and do cool.
Maybe he did. I don't know. His wife is, I think, Hispanic.
Some howdies.
So maybe he did say it like that.
Thanks.
I just want to meet people and do cool
I thought, man, that is about the
And I was like, wow, you are the most privileged piece of shit I've ever known.
Exactly.
best reason to go and do something there is in life, isn't it? So I got an idea.
Oh no.
What if we got together so we can meet new people and do
Stop.
cool
And
things?
also, you pay me.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my first ever virtual live event, and it's called The Art of Living. And I'd like to invite you to join me. We're going to work on getting in tune, all right? Finding our frequency, not someone else's, by learning how to catch and create more green lights.
This man won an Academy Award, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he did. He did.
This is an A-list actor.
Some howdies.
Doing some straight D-list
Yeah, what
cash
is he doing?
grabbing. I don't know.
In our
But
life.
wait, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why.
It's like why? I don't know. Because he's obviously wealthy enough. I don't know.
He doesn't
man.
need to do it.
His wife is Brazilian, by the way. So maybe his son is does say papa. Like he said. I don't want to offend anybody. Here's,
No,
by the
but
way,
the way he says it is just unreal.
papa.
Papa.
Here's the Dinklage was also in TipToes. I think he was the only little person potentially on set.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, I remember that scene.
He was a badass.
He is a badass, honestly.
Yeah,
He really, and that's what's her name? Is it Patricia Arquette?
I think so.
Unbelievable.
Star-studded.
That was
Yo, during the trailer, they go starring all these people, star-studded, stunning, in the role of a lifetime.
And in the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman.
I swear to God, that's from the trailer.
It's so not PC in any type of way. That movie would have been, I would have been probably protesting.
Oh yeah, no, dude, those people nobody in that movie wants anybody to remember.
No, that movie exists.
Yeah, the trailer
But
got
you
claimed.
do.
Why are they
That's
claiming the trailer? That's so obscene. All right. So, I don't know. Alexa, is there anything else you want to add? I mean, I wanted to ask you about your Eat Predators organization that you've put together. I guess, what is that?
Yeah, what is that? You know, Eat Predators basically started out of just kind of hopelessness. Just straight up hopelessness and not knowing what to do. It was also kind of around the time of the Johnny Depp, like Amber Heard fiasco, and it was some dark times. And I was like, what do I do to actually feel empowered as a survivor? And, you know, I just randomly saw that Diplo, I don't know if anyone knows who Diplo is.
Yeah, we know, or I know.
Okay. All right. So Diplo's like best friends with my abuser, and he obviously also is an alleged abuser. And I saw that he was having an all ages show in the middle of the street out of a fucking ice cream truck, out of all things. Oh, stop. I can't even see his image.
Okay, just so the people know, that's Diplo. I mean, he's one of the famous EDM. Is it EDM? I don't know.
Yeah, it's EDM. It's whatever he wants it to be, honestly. Yeah, so I'm not like a fan necessarily of the guy. He doesn't have really good accusations. He was under a criminal investigation. He preys on young Black girls, allegedly. And so, yeah, I saw that he was playing out of an ice cream truck on Melrose Avenue. And I just felt the need to tell the kids possibly that were watching the show that he was in the middle of a criminal investigation. Like, just in case, I don't know, like, they should know. And that's the thing with the music industry is like these guys will straight up be in the middle of criminal investigations and they'll just put them around potential victims, you know? So I went with a couple of my survivor friends and we just went to across the street at first to protest the truck. And it was ironically called Eat the Rich Popsicles. And it was like a whole art whatever
Excuse me,
thing.
Diplo?
Yeah, he's a rich man. It's like, so we're eating him? I'm confused. So anyways, I came up with the idea to have my protest sign be Eat Predators. And I never thought it was going to end up becoming what it ended up becoming. I thought it was just going to be one night protest sign, but my husband ended up dragging me into the middle of the crowd of the people that were listening to Diplo play. And that night, I really got to see how people treated survivors. I got knocked around. Some girl took my phone from me. A guy shredded my protest sign. And that's when I realized, wow, survivors are not safe. I wasn't doing anything in that crowd. I was just holding the sign. And violence came upon me, basically, and my husband.
You were just holding a sign that said, Eat Predators.
Yeah.
And people, why were they attacking you?
Because they were defending Diplo.
They knew that you were accusing him of allegedly
correct. Hypothetically.
You are allegedly accusing him of allegedly being hypothetically a predator.
In my opinion.
In Minecraft.
Yes, there we go. There we go. That's perfect. We're cleared. Yeah. We're totally cleared here. Yeah, that's what was and I was like, oh, wow. So no one, like, if for example, if anyone else was protesting something, like, why would you ever go violent against someone protesting against a predator? Like, like if I saw Eat Predators, I'd just be like, okay, whatever. Even if I wanted to listen to the music, I would just keep listening to the music, not shred the person's sign and grab the phone. Like, it was a wake up call for me personally. And so that's what led me to digging more into enablers. Like, how do these alleged predators survive in these industries? How do they thrive? How do they get more access to more victims? And that's when I started to realize I wanted to look more into the enablers, not just the alleged predators. And so I started doing the digging, and let's just say it was like the Catholic Church on steroids, the entertainment industry. It really honestly is. And they've been covering up and moving these alleged predators around and not doing anything about it. And a lot of victims could have been spared their abuse if this industry actually did something about the allegations when they first heard about them. So I started to Eat Predators. I started going to these institutions, like going to these record labels. One of them being a lawyer, who was the lawyer of my abuser and the lawyer of Kevin Spacey and the lawyer of Diplo. Allegedly, when he was at Berkeley, he I can't say this. He like, you should look it up on Business Insider what he allegedly did
in Minecraft.
In Minecraft. And now he's a lawyer who represents alleged abusers and bullies survivors like me out of our road to justice. And so I stood up to him and his law firm with a couple of survivors and eventually got those court documents to be told to the world, because survivors deserve to know, if their lawyer is an alleged predator, himself.
Right.
And I felt that, we deserve full disclosure. So that's kind of how I started. And it's from my own personal experience in the industry. And now that I'm a pregnant mom, I was like, okay, I can't be on the streets that often. So I took it to the screens. And now I'm making a show basically about it called Eat Predators Daily, where I basically just protest via talking about all these different individuals.
Is that a YouTube thing?
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow.
Oh. Let me see. Do you have what's the channel? How do people watch it?
It's at Eat Predators, and it should say Alexa Nikolas.
Okay, so we'll put a link in the description for that. So you're putting out your first episode tomorrow. What kind of show can people expect?
It's going to be kind of like The Onion, but for predators.
That sounds...
It's like, it's pretty much like a lot of satire going through predatory behavior in the industry. And it's, my personal experience through it and also my commentary on these headlines.
That
I make
sounds
my
interesting.
own headlines.
I think a lot of people
fun.
will be interested in that.
Thank you.
A lot of and where can people go support you, follow you? I know there's a lot of people here who are your admirers now, if they weren't before, and they would like to go support you. So
that's so sweet. On Instagram, I match the source, and on TikTok, I'm Alexa H. Nikolas, and then on YouTube, I'm Eat Predators. So, and Eat Predators on Instagram as well.
So we'll put all the links in the description, guys, so you don't have to worry. It'll all be there. Just go to the description. I actually, if I had a couple more questions that just came to my mind, if you're okay with that.
Tell me.
because
Yeah,
you
let's
you
do
had.
it.
Oh, sorry. What?
I said, let's do it.
Okay, cool. You had mentioned that the Amber Heard case had put you in a bad place, and
It
I'm
did.
curious, what about that put you in a bad place?
How I saw people making fun of her. Even if like people didn't believe her, the way that I saw the world dehumanizing her, it just triggered me into that's how survivors feel all the time anyways. Like there's very little support most of the time when you're coming, especially when you're going up against someone who's extremely powerful, and more powerful than you technically. It's dehumanizing. It's humiliating. Most people don't like you for doing that. You lose your job, you get canceled, you know. And so when I saw this like huge actress like Amber Heard just getting totally dragged through God, like just a viral hell, and having it doesn't matter if you believe her or you don't believe her. That's not really what I was triggered by. It was just by how we were making jokes out of rape. And how we like Family Guy, how we were like making jokes, you know, about possibly someone's real life trauma. And, you know, I was in the middle of a lawsuit against my abuser at the time. And it almost, you can see how that could silence so many survivors.
Definitely. I was pretty surprised by. It seemed like even a lot of people who are generally would be like supportive of victims, like there was it was like just an incredible wave of just absolute hate for her specifically. And I was surprised by it. I mean, like you said, even if she's not in the right, it's still pretty stunning how cruel people were being towards her. I thought. I agree.
I was just blown. I was blown away. And then you would just see all these videos of that guy, you know, drunk, banging things around. And like there was so much love and respect for him. And the woman, it was very triggering. And also, I just think maybe it was also like genetic, like, you know, ancestral trauma of just being like, whoa, all of the love and support's going towards the guy, you know, and the woman is just getting eaten alive. Like it was like watching someone get eaten alive.
You know what I think it was? There's a lot of people who are like, women have gone too far. Feminism has gone too far.
Yeah.
So they saw this. They're like, here it is. The undeniable opportunity where she lied about all this shit and he is totally innocent. And so we're going to make the ultimate example of her. Although I have to say, I've been reading more and more stuff and I feel like there is a public perception now that is somewhat shifting more in support of her. I do think so. I've read a lot of stuff. And I mean, some of the text messages I read from Johnny Depp's were just fucking vile. Like vile. The shit he was saying about her was just so vile, man.
It was really bad. He literally talked about like wanting to rape a dead body.
Oh, I didn't read that one. That's
the
vibes.
The corpse of her.
Okay, that's interesting.
And making sure she's dead, you know. And you know, you read that, and I did stand up for Amber Heard, you know, and I got eaten alive for that. And so that was also like another like triggering thing because I felt like I wasn't safe as a survivor once again to like have my own opinion about something. And then what I really saw, honestly, was survivors attacking other survivors. And that's why I ended up coming up with like Survivors United at first. Now it's changed more to Power to Survivors because it's kind of hard to unite everybody. Most of the time it's kind of an idealistic approach. But at the time I just saw survivors fighting with survivors and trying to show like what trauma was more important than this trauma. And like it just felt like a very dark time. And when I was witnessing that, it was just so sad because we just came out of this progressive movement where survivors felt support to come forward, and then this happened and it was survivors going up against one another, which you know, it's like conquer divide.
This was the big rubber band, I think, is why it was so outsized, the hate for her. There's apparently a new Netflix documentary come out called Depp vs. Heard. Do we know what's the angle on that?
What's that going to be?
I'm interested in that.
It's going to be August 16th on Netflix, I'm reading.
That's very interesting.
I hope it's not like.
I have a
more
feeling if it was just like all Johnny Depp propaganda, it wouldn't be that interesting of a documentary, would it?
True, because we've all heard it a
Yeah.
1,000 times that side.
Huh.
I'm curious to see. It just.
I mean,
there were so many girls that were silenced from that.
It
trial.
seemed to me, and I'm not super familiar with all the facts, so I'm probably
No.
speaking out of turn here, but
You're a goldfish.
I'm a goldfish at the end of the day. But it seemed to me that they were both pretty abusive to each other, and the support he got was outsized, and the hate she got was outsized. It seemed like they had both done pretty fucked up things to each other.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that when I look back at myself in my abusive, fraudulent relationship, there are times that I'm not proud of necessarily who I was during that time, but that was because that person had a lot to do with bringing that out in me, like that survival mode, that aggressive. I look back now and I'm like, wow, I'm not like that at all with my husband. You know what I mean? Like I look at things that I said then, and then I see who I am in a safe environment that's not abusive and very loving. And you're like, wow, that's a huge difference. So at the same time, like, yeah, I don't think anyone's perfect at all. But at the same time, knowing my own personal experience, I'm always a little suspicious with that, because sometimes these abusers really bring out the worst in you. You know what I mean? And they're triggering you constantly. You're just not yourself. You're really not yourself. And so who knows what I would, none of us were actually obviously in the room there. But what I've read from the London trial was enough for me to go, she was abused, in my opinion. Like, there's enough there.
I think it's possible, and again, I might be speaking out of turn, that I think he may have also been on the receiving end of abuse from her.
Who knows? But really what it felt like was she was a lot younger than him. There was a little bit of a power dynamic there. Maybe she wasn't a person that all of us would chill with. Maybe she's not your BFF, but there was abuse happening there. And I think people got way more caught up in it being a sport and picking a team than like respecting trauma. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
it was about serious things, and people were making a spectacle of it, for sure.
It was scary.
Well, it was
And
like
then for
gangbusters,
Survivor-
man. I don't know if you noticed, like there were so many YouTube channels and Twitch streamers who they were like, it's Johnny Depp, Amber Heard all day, every day. They had like 90 clips of it.
Yes.
And it was a circus, kind of.
I got death threats. Like, I've never gotten death threats. And actually, the second time I got death threats was when I came forward about Jonah Hill. But the first time I got death threats, like crazy amount, was just for posting something about Amber Heard once. And when I saw that, I was like, this is wild. Why so much hatred? Like, what the hell is going? It was very weird.
Yeah, I noticed that too. His supporters were so freaking. They were just so determined, man. But But I do think people who are listening, who are hardcore Johnny Deppers, who think like Amber Heard's a liar and deserves everything, I would tell you guys just to read some more stuff coming out, because I've personally been influenced by some of the new stuff people are saying about it, because when the dust settles and you can look at things retrospectively, I think that there's some new revelations and new perspectives on it that are really interesting.
Yes, and I honestly would like to add that, abusers do tend to make things look really messy and complicated on purpose to drown out most of the time the victim's story, or the truth of something that's happening. Like, the messier it gets, I'm always very suspicious, because that's what my abuser would tend to do, was deny things, and then also kind of stir the pot to make it very complicated, when actually, when I would go to therapy, it was very simple. And I was like, whoa, it is very simple. Like, why am I making this so complicated? And I realized it was his influence, and him creating so much complexity actually created a lot of complicity, for all of those around me, not even realizing that they were, being complicit in the abuse that he was, committing. So
I want to ask you one more question.
Yeah.
If you go back to like where this all began, I mean, you were in a really sweet spot. You were on a huge show. You were the co-star. and it seemed like you had like a really potentially wonderful path ahead of you of success and wealth and acting, and like a lot of people dream of this, having these opportunities. Is there any time when you go back and think like that these people, these men, they stole this other you who could have been out there doing that?
Yes. Yeah. Many, many nights. I have cried over what men have done to me and my career. Like, if you look, I got married to my groomer and my abuser in 2012, and that was the last year I worked. So he took like everything from me. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, because I didn't really start processing it until I found out I was giving birth to a girl. And it brought me to tears because I realized, well, how am I going to explain to her, if she does end up identifying as a woman, what that was like for me identifying as a woman? How would I share my inner world with my child? And I was very confused. I didn't know how to. And I had to do like a lot of internal work to kind of figure out what had happened to me, what I feel about it, and what I want to do about it now. And what I decided was I want to make sure this never happens to my daughter. Ever. I don't want her to ever go into any work environment, for example, and feel that if she stands up for the right thing, she's going to lose her job. And that's what happened to me. And that's what happened to countless people, mostly people that aren't white males. That's what happens when you stand up against these individuals. We're the ones who get canceled, and it wasn't cancel culture for thousands of years when it was happening to us. But now that white men have little breaks in their careers because they did something, it's something called cancel culture, which is a real bummer, because really, if you look at history, there are so many individuals that have lost their art, their careers, their voices, for coming forward or standing up against power. And that's where I'm at now, where I can't sit in the gutter of what has happened to me. I chose to help others, hopefully, by sharing my stories and also getting active in whatever way possible so I can make Nova proud. I hope that's what I end up doing.
I'm sure you will. Yeah.
Thank you.
There's one more thing. It keeps coming to my mind. One more thing I want to ask you, if you have time. I look back at those sets, and these situations with kids, they're regulated by the state, I think, or by the federal government. But there are regulations about how kids need to be treated on set. Yes. But then when you go to and see what even happened to you, even despite all the regulations. So if you go like to what's happening on YouTube with like family vlogging channels, there's no regulations, there's no protection for the kids. This I've always thought was a big problem. And there's no oversight. There's nobody there to advocate for the kids, even if it's their parents, you know what I mean, who's doing it, because the parents' self-interest is all mixed up with their kids' self-interest. This seems to me like a huge problem. Is this something you've thought about?
Absolutely. I mean, I get asked a lot of times from media outlets if I feel that there should be a such thing as child stars at all. Like, should children be? And I honestly do not believe.
You think children should not be allowed to act?
No, because I don't think it's consensual. If they can't consent to like the army and they can't consent to, sex with a fucking adult, for example, like, I don't really know if a child can consent to selling themselves in a type of way. Also, what I don't like about it is why I also personally wish that I wasn't a child star is kids should enjoy exploring their creativity without capitalism tainting it. Like, I never got that. I never got to just like explore all the different creative sides of me because it was all about the financial the financial aspect always was a part of it, and it kind of tainted my relationship with creativity for a while. I always felt had to be a financial exchange with creation, and it really messed with my head. And when I see kids, for example, that aren't in industries like that, they get to explore their creativity in a very healthy way without capitalism trying to gain something, from them.
There seems to be no question about it. I mean, child actors on whole seem to have a pretty bad outcome. It seems like, I mean, that's easily recognizable when you look at it.
I'm surprised I survived. There's days where, I look around and some of my friends did not. And it's sad. I told my therapist, I'm like, did I really survive? Like, I feel like I'm going to wake up one day and I'm going to be way more on the floor than I am, and it puts a toll on you. So I just don't feel like kids should feel that they can consent to something so with an institution behind it that can not only exploit them, but also pressure them into doing things that they don't necessarily want to do. Because I just realized after a while, like I realized, like, do I want to be an actress? Like, you don't even know what you want to be at 5 years old. You might change your mind. But what happens when you put all your eggs in one basket, for example, it's very hard to get out of that. So that's why it's important that kids don't feel stuck in something early on just through their parents.
Which is literally what these family vlogs are. It's like you're at home. Your home is your work and your bosses are your parents. It's scary.
That freaks me out. I honestly, I don't support that whatsoever. It's just too much. It's like, and also, do you need the kids? Like, I don't know. I even feel kind of uncomfortable when I do, like, when I had Nova, all these different companies wanted to like give things for me to promote. And, I would there would be a diaper and I would have Nova already in my Instagram stories, and I would tag the thing. And it was still very hard for me. I was like, oh, it would trigger me a little bit. Like, am I exploiting my child? Like you think that because of your own personal experience. And I was like, no, obviously I'm not doing that. But there is this fine line where we all have to be very much aware in the virtual realm of how we are incorporating our children into our virtual lives. I think having awareness around it's not going to be a bad thing.
No.
Like just being a little bit aware of that fact. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. I don't think any of us are going to be perfect millennial parents. Like, what do you want? Like there's so much, but being aware of it, I think, and having the conversations around it is not going to hurt anybody. I think that is important.
Okay, Alexa, Nikolas, what a joy. What a pleasure. This conversation went way longer than I thought it would because it was just
I know.
So it was just so fascinating, endlessly interesting and insightful. And I really appreciate you calling in and sharing all that with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me and listening to me.
Of course. And everyone who wants to check out more of her, again, all the links are in the description. And her new show is coming out tomorrow on YouTube. So check it out.
And in the role of a
lifetime, Alexa Nikolas, who's from TipToes fame.
With a lifetime.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I want to be known for anyways. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great evening. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
In the role of a lifetime.
And in the role of a lifetime.
Dude, the TipToes connection.
It's crazy.
Was everything to me. She saw Gary Oldman creeping around on his knees. She was there.
That's awesome.
That's like witnessing Pearl Harbor or 9/11 or something.
Where were you at?
She was there. Wow. That was way longer than I thought it would be. We did like a full interview with her. That was like over 2 hours. Shit.
Yeah. We're at 3 hours right now.
What do you guys think about all that?
I was fascinated the whole time.
Yeah.
She's been through so much. Her book would be so long.
Does she not have a book? She should if she doesn't.
She should, 100%.
In a
book?
In a book?
The thing that is really good is I feel like there would be a lot of skepticism and doubt about everything she says But like when Brittney came out and just co-signed everything, that I feel like is so powerful for her.
Yeah.
And a really just a great thing that happened. Sam and Cat actually this is what I remember. Thank you, Cam.
No, this is from Reddit, actually.
Oh, it's from Reddit. Thank you. I used to watch this show. Thank you, guys. Yes. With the feet at the bottom. Shame on you.
She's so cool. I loved her in Zoey 101.
I never even goddamn heard of that show.
Oh my God, one of my, I mean, now I take it out of the list, obviously.
So you're a lot younger, so I think I was way too old for that.
But when I was a kid, when I didn't understand, that was one of the faves.
Dude, Dan Schneider, what a sick fuck that dude is.
You know, I was sort of talking to our mod Avery on the side. Maybe a content cop on him. I mean, actual court as well, but it is
He needs real court.
Yeah, but it's crazy how much stuff people don't know about. And that Ariana video was insane.
Yeah, that
was rough.
Yeah.
He needs the judicial system.
We got to go find him in Thailand. He's for sure somewhere in Southeast Asia. Has to be.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon paid him $7 million to break his contract and fuck off because there was a bunch of like.
You know how far $7 million goes in Thailand?
Oh yeah.
Okay, the Seth MacFarlane stuff is pretty explosive. I know she doesn't want to go there, so I don't want to probe too. I don't want to probe at all. But and then the Jonah Hill thing, Jason Schlong. You know what I like about her? She's not afraid to name names.
It's awesome.
Like, and I get that people don't want to do that because who the fuck wants all that smoke?
Well, I thought it was awesome when you asked her, like, have you been contacted legally? And she's like, no, because I tell the truth and people know that it's the truth and they don't want it to be looked into.
That's the ticket, right? Because if somebody sues her for defamation, it opens their all their
skeleton.
Exactly, it opens all the deposition.
All their
it
messages.
opens it all to discovery, to investigation. So, someone like Seth MacFarlane to be like, "Hey, she defamed me," then it's like, okay, well,
let's see.
I now can investigate every facet of your life.
Right.
But I was scared for her, because I wanted to make sure she wasn't going to come on here and get in trouble. I assumed somebody had already come at her legally, but that's surprising. Nobody has.
Badass.
But yeah, she names names. I think that's really brave and incredible. You don't see a lot of people that do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's like, yeah, this dude, Jason Schlong's roommate was like statutory raping my friend.
Yep.
And here's his name and face.
Yep.
I was like, yo.
We're speaking the facts, she said.
That's good for her.
Allegedly.
Man.
Today I only want to talk about the facts.
That's right. That's so me right now. I saw a lot of people getting triggered over the Johnny Depp stuff, as I knew it would. You see how
Grumpy.
I knew people aren't ready to move on from that yet. But I look forward to more stuff about that coming out. I really do. I really do. I think that over time, we're going to learn that Johnny Depp was not this innocent victim. That's just, that's my feeling. That's some stuff that I've read. Justin Schlong, not Jason Schlong. But I understand if you loved What's Eating Gilbert Grape or whatever.
It's Pirates. It's all Captain Jack.
It's all Captain Jack stands.
Definitely.
Yo-ho,
She was not saying, people were like, men can be abused. She never said that.
Yeah, no.
Women can't be abusers. Oh, she never said that. Obviously. But I think overall that was great. Yeah, that's what I think. I think they were, personally, I think they were both abusers. That's what I got. They're both treated each other horrifically. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not easy to talk about. People are still charged up about it. There it is. Alexa Nikolas, everybody.
Woo!
Fantastic. Let me see. I mean, we've been going for a minute. It's already 4:30. Shit. I can talk about. Actually, I could talk about one more thing. The Fantanos being sued by Activision is pretty interesting. Our boy Melon Fantano is being sued, and this is so interesting because it's exactly what the fuck we're doing to these scumbags, these scum brands that use my voice to sell their shit. So here's what happened. Fantano, friend of the show, music critic, everybody knows him. So, okay, so he had this really viral sound. You guys probably remember. That's enough slices. Okay, enough slices. There was like a video of someone cutting the pizza. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody remembers that, right? That's enough slices. You could pull it maybe. So he had this viral sound. By the way, his had 50,000. Mine has 100,000. I just don't know if anybody wanted the numbers on that. It is relevant, I think. And so he was hitting him up and being like, yo, Activision, one of the biggest, richest gaming companies in the world. Why are you using... Oh, here it is. Actually, this is perfect.
Ooh, a fresh pie. Save me a slice. That's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's... All right, that's good. Okay, okay. All right, okay, all right. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's enough slices!
I did not know that was Anthony Fantano.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Yeah, that's
I
all
just
him,
know that
man.
sound.
That's all Anthony.
Wow, congratulations,
And
Anthony.
so
That's amazing.
So I guess I don't have the one that Activision used because they erased it. Or do you have it? Oh, Dan. Is that Dan sending it me or somebody else?
It's Dan, yeah. Initially it was me, but Dan's been in here.
So Dan.
Dan is the queen. You can't
Hi,
do nothing
Dan.
wrong.
Hi,
Dan is the
girl. Hi, Dan at Homesick, girl.
Miss you, girl.
Did I ever say why he wasn't here? Yeah, he's sick.
I think he's not here because he's jealous of me.
Dan blocked me.
Dan. Show me. Why are you showing AB? Hi, girl.
Dan.
We
Dan,
love
do it
you,
back.
girl. Get better.
Dan, do
Get
it back.
better. Dan's at home doing this, I guarantee it.
He did.
So, Anthony, they used the sound to promote a Crash Bandicoot sneaker. Super commercial use by a massive business. And he says to them, yo, y'all gotta pay me because you use that shit in your ad. And he's 100% right. Okay. He said, Fantano allegedly claimed that the use of the audio created confusion, mistake, or deception about his involvement. 100%. You have a right to your likeness, okay? Giant media companies don't get to use your voice or your face or whatever it is to sell their shit without your permission. That's not how it works, people, just because it was on a TikTok. Okay? So here now, Scum Division. Now they came back and they're not really suing him, but they came back. Here, let me read this. The corporation claimed that Fantano demanded it immediately pay him substantial monetary damage in the six figures ballpark. If they didn't pay up, Fantano said his lawyers told Activision they'd better be prepared to defend a lawsuit. Fantano allegedly claimed that the use of the audio created, So 100% agree with Fantano, and this is really sneaky what Activision's doing. They're trying to muddy the water to make Fantano look like he's greedy. And whatever they want to say, the lawyer, this is just lawyer bullshit. They posture all the time. You know what I mean? You go to your lawyer, I want $10,000. They're like, okay, cool. We asked him for $250,000. That's how this is how these people think. You know? So they put out a press release, I think, this Rolling Stones article, trying to... Look at this. They're trying to make it sound absurd. Anthony Fantano is courting lawsuits over his TikTok pizza meme. Okay, fuck you guys. That's a really shitty way. How about this? How about this headline? Activision stole Anthony Fantano's voice to sell Crash Bandicoot sneakers.
Fuck you.
I don't think anybody's going to like that. And why should Anthony Fantano, why should he let Activision? How much are those motherfuckers worth? You know what I mean? Fuck them. Y'all don't know how the law works all of a sudden because TikTok's out? Like, I've had media people, I've done commercials, like, the media people are so anal. They sign a release. If there's art in the background, if you don't have the artist's direct written consent, you have to remove it. You can't wear shirts with logos. Like, they know how the law works. But all of a sudden, TikTok comes out, and now Activision wants to be able to use anyone's sound for any purpose. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Hell no. Fantano's threats laid out in a letter issued to Activision centered around right of publicity. Exactly. Claims for false endorsement. Even though the audio clip, as Activision argued, is available for public use on the app, you morons. There's a big difference between people using it for their personal entertainment use and commercial use of Activision using it to sell Crash Bandicoot sneakers, you fucks. The audio in question has been used in over 54,000 videos, and again, mine was 100,000, and I don't know if anyone's counting. Was anybody counting?
I'm looking for it. I can't find it.
But Fantano, so let's see. Check this out, these scumbags. These scumbags got a statement from Activision's lawyers. Look what they said about him. In an apparent effort to even further profits from the Slices video. Oh, greedy Fantano with the Slices video. Fantano has embarked on a scheme whereby he selectively threatens to sue certain users of the Slices audio unless they pay him extortionate amounts of money for their alleged use. Fuck you, the lawsuit reads. Notwithstanding that thousands of TikTok videos containing the Slice audio have been available on TikTok for years. No shit. Y'all really pretending like you don't know the difference between commercial and use? Fantano suddenly decided that Activision's video infringed his publicity rights and constituted a false endorsement. Dumbasses. Yeah, suddenly, exactly. Does Jimmy fucking whoever lip syncing to the sound, is he endorsing a product, moron? In response to the threats, the corporation claims they offered to take down the video and eventually did, but they were met with a aforementioned ultimatum. Fantano claimed that the use of the audio clip, yada yada, blah blah blah. The critics seemingly thought the threat of a lawsuit would get him paid, but now he's one being sued. Again, this is moronic. It's misleading. He's not being sued. They filed a what's it called? Okay, so they're seeking a declaratory judgment. So they basically just went to a judge and was like, let's just resolve this. They're not suing him, moron. Who wrote this? Dude, this is as hacky as the James Charles article. I swear to God, man. This is basically just a paid promo from Activision trying to... It's like, why do you even care? Just pay him $100,000, fuckers. Let him just, you know what I mean? Just pay him off. Or you don't have to pay him that much. Just pay him off, man. You guys fucked up. Why you got to sue him over it? Or not, he's not being sued, but why you guys be dicks over it? Go to the media, try to paint him out like the bad. Activision's making someone feel like the bad guy, the most predatory shit fucking dicks in the gaming industry. Activision, the kings of microtransactions, are accusing Anthony Fantano of being greedy. That's rich. Activision, who literally ruined Blizzard, and I'm trying to enjoy Diablo 4, but it's shit. The game fucking sucks because of Activision. Y'all just buy fucking video game companies and then ruin them. Let me read the first paragraph here. Imagine going through the entire process of securing a law degree in hopes of presenting clients in meaningful court cases, only to ultimately end up defending them in a lawsuit surrendered around the use of a 19-second TikTok audio. That's the reality for attorneys representing Anthony Fantano, the YouTube music critic who has been named as a defendant in a lawsuit from video game developers Activision Publishing. You are literally the dumbest person alive. Who wrote this? Yeah, I'm sure the lawyers are like, no, this is below me. Activision
Dumb.
stealing my client's audio for commercial use is below me. I did not go to law school for this. I went to law school for something better than this. So dismissive, so pathetic. How much did you get paid by Activision? Did they even pay you dollars, or did they pay you in like Activision bucks? Like
Call of Duty bucks?
Yeah, V-bucks. Did they even pay you cash, you sellout? You probably did it for V-bucks, loser. Probably gave you an exclusive mount for one of their dog shit games. Ironically, that might be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, I was kind of raising my eyes over
Exclusive mount?
Exclusive
Oh,
mount
let's
from World of
talk.
Warcraft.
Let's talk.
Let's go.
They said, and again, the dick sucking of Activision continues. In any event, no reasonable consumer was mistakenly believed that Fantano, who admits that users had no idea the Slice's audio featured his voice, I did, sponsored or endorsed Activision or its video merely because the Slice's audio was included in that video. Doesn't matter. It's his voice. You don't get to put anybody's voice on an ad. It's simple. Why are you guys pretending to know that's not fucked up? To the contrary, Fantano's own admission that the Slice's audio is a TikTok meme wholly undercuts any such assertions. I can't believe they actually wrote this. Members of the public are no more confused about Fantano's involvement with the video than they are with any of the other thousands of TikTok videos containing Slice's audio. I mean, so obtuse. How could you write this? Why are they taking this fight up? So yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I'm doing when I'm sending legal letters to people who use my sound. I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean? They can't use my voice to sell shit. It's that simple. If you want to sell shit using my voice, you need to talk to me. And Anthony Fantano is 100% right, and I do not like. They're like, you know who's right? This billion-dollar corporation who's trying to steal this YouTuber's audio. It's a real David versus Goliath. And the big evil Anthony Fantano is bullying the small, little, helpless Activision. Fuck you. What is this? Activision CEO Bobby Kotick knew for years about sexual misconduct allegations as video game giant. Oh, brother. Don't even get me started, Bobby.
There's a lot of juice on Bobby. Good old Bobby.
This dude doesn't even game.
He's a fucking dumbass. He ruined all my favorite games.
Dude, Diablo 4 should have been a great game.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
For no fucking reason.
That's the game I'm playing, bro.
Like, he's the dude that kicks down the door of the developers and goes, we need this game out next week. The shareholders demand it. They're like, it's not done. We need like another year. Put it out now. Fuck you, Bobby. Get your money from somewhere else, not Anthony Fantano. Go cover up some more sexual misconduct allegations, bitch.
There's a lot of things on him, allegedly.
It's so confusing to me that they're taking this fight up. It's just so bizarre. Well, that was it. That was all I wanted to say. So, Anthony, if you are watching this, Fantano, we are united. I got your back, brother. Please stop bullying Activision, Anthony. They're big, and they're so defenseless, little Activision.
I was bullied. Red hair.
Dan, shut up, dude. You're sick. Don't chat. Don't even type in chat. Dan says it sucks. Ethan has like 200 hours in D4. Yeah, and it should be a better game. It's upsetting because I put a lot of time into it.
You should be a good judge.
Exactly.
If it sucks or not. Yeah. Come on, Dan.
No, it doesn't, Ethan. I've been playing with my friends for plenty of hours. They're just making it worse by nerfing. The game sucks. The end game sucks. They could have put so much more effort in to building out a good end game that was like engaging and long lasting. And don't even get me started. I'm sick of this game. the world, they built this whole open world. It all looks the same. When you played the old Diablo games, you traveled to different biomes, new enemies, new environments. This game doesn't have any of that shit. Lazy. You know? Man. Forget about it, huh? Activision. Thank you, Blizzard. Woofy. Okay, this Lucas said, Ethan, personally, I don't find this girl's story interesting, but I love your content anyways. Thanks. Didn't ask. Why did you even type that? Like, what actually possessed you to share that opinion? You need to leave. Okay. Well, that's about it, guys. I had a great time here. A really fantastic guest. Despite what gotta find their name. Despite what that one commenter said.
Lucas?
Was it Lucas? Yeah, Lucas. And can you grab his Discord so I can ask him for permission next time? And when we have a call-in, I want to go over it with him.
Okay.
To make sure it's not boring for him. He doesn't pay $5 to watch me talk to people. I'm kidding. I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Tomorrow we'll be back. Leftovers is finally coming back. I know. We've been gone. We've been sick. Hassan's been gone. But we're back tomorrow.
Let's go.
Woo! Oh, do we have super chats? People saying read. Dan usually spearheads that movement.
I sent a couple in chat. Let me just scroll up and get them.
What's that?
I sent a couple in Discord.
Oh, you did? Here, let me read a
just gonna
few.
scroll
It's
up.
hard for me to, obviously, to do the show and read the super chats. Are they pretty high up? Because I'm scrolling up a lot.
Yeah, I'm getting them. Hold on.
But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you to our wonderful members. You guys do so much to help support the show. It's very meaningful. Thank you guys. And to everybody else who watches as well, thank you so much. My BF Kim is turning 31 tomorrow. He would die happy if Ethan wished him happy birthday. From Sweden. Och love, du måste bli dämpa akta.
31. Fuck you.
Svenska fika.
Yeah, they're saying I should make you guys Swedish fika. I can do that.
Happy birthday to Kim, who can now die happy. But I hope you don't. I hope you live a long, healthy life without lupus or anything like that. Saskia says, could I get a happy birthday shout out for my boyfriend Jake? Happy birthday, Jake. My son Isaac turns 11 tomorrow. Yo, come on. He's not he doesn't watch this show, right? You're about to make me look like Jason Schlong serving up
11.
You do have 11? Why do you have 11, man?
I got it all, man.
So go ahead, do the whole thing.
He's 11. I mean,
You're right. You
know.
Don't do it.
Don't curse.
Kid,
Whatever,
don't let your 11-year-old watch this show. It's not appropriate. All right, for real though, guys, I gotta go. I gotta get the kiddos. Thank you guys so much. Lupus Gang, mount the fuck up.
Cheers, my dude.
Oh yeah, it's Hassan's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to Hassan Abbey. Around the banks of disinformation to give gossip train. Happy 25th birthday to my bestie Kaylin. Toxic gossip trade. You can play us out with that.
Rumors look like facts if you don't mind. The gaps that won't survive in the crush, but hey, at least you have fun.
I've been sharing my life online for over 15 years.
I poured my heart out to you, and because of that I feel like I'm talking to my friends. But in the beginning of my career, I didn't really understand that maybe there should be some boundaries there. There were times when the